Osebozo.
Afishiapa.
Afiaya. Nyafi abanina wo.
Afi.
Yao. Many I just said my
this year, so my.
Buy a cry and Timema with tea for any was shuffle with Facebook Nyafi.
Sure.
Na me mammy Yakuma lawyer. Me man of Shapa. Over the holidays, you know, minimnia a can I am. Frebe H.
Wow.
Namin to me cry.
Oh.
And on me bompaye. Na the Okacham say honorable Umbato Wati.
Oh.
And then media chimney. Chum, Medasi Papa. Juma ye. Nanti ne akonda bani nyina no sa dom ne bi nka ye ho bedding nya nyina nso ne akọ afufure mu enti e beda nyam yase se wa ma afufure so abeto ye enti yenko so na yensum nyame yensum ne ye wa koma pam ene no kradie mu na de de obi akoma so no nyame de be ma no enti meni age se masa be fie e ba sempa mabadi medium because who companies ya kampa and the chire and then abedani one of the powerful political talk show ewo world in Ghana because ye kaze nyina obi wo Papua New Guinea obi wo baby attuning omutie and your resource people amodebo ani nyina no sebi enye sebi enim de dabi ye ba be chire ya dwin kakra na ya sua bibisu de film ama ya chichiri omaya ye friend Ghana and the sana Ghana da wakomaso sana da makomaso sana da lo ya chuma komaso saso na da na do akufa do aban and amanka sana komaso and ye be catch it mamfo say echia enso mbuye ye be ye ni ye nyame nsa wom bibia beto din mate ndase
enso ye dase obi orabo
lawyer Kumasi hona
Kumasi
actually it's a central region but Kumasi anisa yeah I'm just manra me no say news na police ni bia so wa oh
I on the year in the bow
in fact me awie me ra ho papa
unim nana
I may know him because the unit no woman no minimum pa that anti-robbery squad no one station officer I know several guys there eti in fact e bia botan na menya access in the year but e bi kwa me kom na minimum pa
Jackson Mompe guy in the picture na nice guy very nice guy
now one just say you know initially now I made them tell man pay attention me them tell as police ni bi na awie na me say that tikra say just say one no ne ma bienu oh goodness and mercy we dear just say I wish I say you
a whole nuclear family.
That's the point. That's it. And you know, Obi, you said it about you, you know, who are you now? You know, who I wouldn't say, Papa. Hey, Obi.
Say, Ufi, a jar tomb, in Wusiafa baby, a woman baby a gate. Now, said you know, and you will see you know, the pain that you go through to die. The pain.
Akwat media but if quite the say idea when you na akwala no woman no 5 years and 3 months 5 months ni na I just pani wo mkwai say 4 years is 5 years
it's terrible it's terrible
we there about time and the bani abrantie no about time and the bani ababa wa no we there asem we there to say wo da woni ntimi nku young
family
pathetic
young family it's terrible and
you know you best China doesn't there for safety reasons but your modern as a window ne say ba akopɛ kra na wo dan ne ho a converting self double one sliding no
burglar proofs nso ka ho say I mean Charlie
if you say you know ye kan nyina kro no sem ya na ma ye nyina go ye sade bi kro no sem yi wo de tu wa de ons de wonim sade na ye fa nya so no ba befa en na ma obi ya sade na se be sere de ka kon de ye nyina we are compared and I mean ye nyina we use China doors bi na we fie ne na de but me say I mean at some point so you need to convert some of the windows if I can say one day they say I mean it's more or less a barracks It is a one window pempo now.
Barracks are not one a
I think so.
Private residence.
Police.
Exactly. Okay. It has become a barracks in a sense. It is a window near Bakupempo Noa. Yabasa said they should convert them to affordable ones. Said the Bayer can be saying the we answer will break it padlock. Now, we peer window never go. I break it glass and then Kakwala impon and now Kabidi can go under money about first. Now go we and to them. Because with Tia, they were doing everything possible to break the doors. As you be me. Obi. Now Kwala is in Kwala is soon. Oh, Araho. Wait,
because ebi abahwe na epono na chi no yase ye whole bogla pool bi wa chire ma
I don't know but wait,
it's because I remember say wo ye wo dunkwa me service wo dunkwa. I think a similar thing happened nti honorable monhwe I mean this is crazy. Nti mo amhwe your Facebook no be hu beautiful couple and you are about 5 months and I suppose go back where your name no. And I don't believe in the deal on the man and then dono. This is bad. This is really bad. Part of the anti-armed robbery squad, right?
Ashanti region. Former Buffalo region.
Okay, former Buffalo unit. And then a year young couple are a jato mufi.
Sergeant, and as I hear more the police by 10-12 years.
10-12 years.
Yes. At most 8 to 10.
That's him. I mean, okay. I
know that very well.
Into Oba Facebook and YouTube, the young man in question I can and say the nuclear family Nina Asiato.
I read him for the crane.
Because I remember say a similar thing is I don't put it in there Yane say bogla proof ye be sao inti in wusiele J dem hono omo pekwan akọ bia door ne wo cheze wo kofa baabia ye kusu nti omo hu ena I think omo ye so omo yi nkwala no e de afa bogla proof nim ama omo ba abonten na cheze obi age omo e wa achi na one say akwala ba ako omo de ni wura bogla ni body ni nyina bai ena ni ti a locking or hang bogla proof. Hey, me say you go home picture ne pa akwala ne saying bogla proof ne ma wash it's the most bizarre thing I've seen in my life. And yet I don't know how but you see a diner who's will be on so ne dino ne veranda no person veranda no so convert not the veranda na ye kitchen ne ade it was a bogla proof no veranda ni 90 I don't know how we can
sometimes you be enye conversion no so they make ni nyina your personal security officer me dey dey to obi ba abefa
Asempa FM.
I mean, madam, Mr. Biocatcher, woman gas of what it's about. You know, people just I'm telling you, Obi. And when you excuse my language, I'm quite some doctor. I mean, some people can just behave in a way that is so unreasonable and irrational.
We're 2 cylinder.
I'm telling you. Every I can take it through.
Oh,
just and said the minimum when you know pushes people to take certain steps that I don't know. Say be before business go see and even though it was for a good purpose. No?
Yeah.
Na asako how. Araho. This is a very young police officer. I can't. We say, maybe I'm going potential IGP grad tomorrow.
Oh,
who knows?
Oh,
and then so I say, Yanko for the currency. Araho, but Abusiana say mechanic. Abusia no abranti any free mo abusia ababa wan so free mo mu nyina ya akọ ne beti mo because abrede ye no hwehwehwehwe ya entimi nyi
I mean for more currency
asifum pa
especially in Kwalano I mean to die such a
me akwala de akwala won ninu ehunu papa ne bone de ya na ni we me papa obi especially when it goes to that kind of pain because no parent will deliberately and see say ne ban fa say ya on move film awofo bi ani ho. And to say we're not going to be mark and a banner, they will do everything possible to save Akolano. Just say, yeah. But you're better day. Yakupo van Cressi.
Yeah.
Van Cressi.
We should IGP anymore. I didn't know.
Not to say, I mean, I do it. Just say,
IGP. I say,
I call somebody in Kumasi this afternoon. And when I story be a sign that in Banner Muso, I want no and the mammy. Sanity, I mean, because as a police, even though I have a yard, but you know, me say Sunday, you come home on one share woo, name mum, and I'm so, oh, wait, dear, Abroso. Now, some ways, I'll come on your body. Oh, adding,
God.
adding.
Anyways, it's sad. Auntie, the on that sad note, would begin our discussions for and there are a lot of issues on our table, but I mean for we increment. So the American kind say for some reasons beyond our control, the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, Honorable Samuel Kujata Blakwa, your interview no end to me so for a simple reason. You would recall say before some echo break and Sunny any Honorable Ababidin Komono, one of our lead producers Ewaha Ekosisen, apparently now he is raising issues say a picture, one of the pictures are Honorable share in some of his previous posts, na onunim phone and he feels na and was flyer onunim phone eka ho Honorable the post erase allegations be sane ade ono kasa manfo afrefren and all of that. Honorable Samuel Kujata Blakwa was not particularly happy about that interview because he makes the point the person we spoke to, the lead producer, no used some expressions na onufri say very unfortunate, and he thinks coming onto the show for an interview your best stampede with Bibisano, he thought we were not fair to him. And let me, on my own behalf and on behalf of the team, apologize unreservedly to Honorable Samuel Kujata Blakwa. We understand how he feels, and we think next time we would conduct ourselves better. And say interview to me Amaswa. That is the reason why I end to me so he was not particularly happy about that interview and the comment the lead producer and the Kasaya made. And we unreservedly apologize to Honorable Samuel Kujata Blakwa for what happened. Said next time we'll conduct ourselves better and hope we'll do that interview sooner rather than later. And that's what I just wanted to put across with where the instruction from the lead producer of the team say render our unqualified apology to the honorable member. Wherever Samuel Kujata Blakwa is, VMate, sincere apologies. Hopefully next time we'll conduct ourselves better. Thank you. But of course, that issue with the National Cathedral and BBI one of the major issues for this week. I was here to me Edi Hunkomo plus the debt exchange program. Any BBI Ababedu Sisia Enra ministry ni issue statement my extended deadline to the end of this month in the year said in Yomabesiako. Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover owner o party ewa baimu.
And mina mentions here. No opposition yakwana ombom tojo.
Oh, that is how we shall say. Next time on also shall say.
I want to happen to it. Na me say na be say.
That's it.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Baby o man peni wo bia mechia no.
Yes.
Ewie enwumere yi. Na medican aka first on the tariff increment, then
sure.
Add
sure.
If any saying could get to the then on the second round they'll look at it.
Debt exchange,
okay. Any application to the G20
so which one are you starting with?
So I'm starting with
now you can choose anyone you want to start.
Yes, any of them you
want to
start with.
Ozamozo say increment na ba no meti few views to me for express say and I'm on why Mitia said, but at the paper beer open here no.
Asempa FM 94.7.
Na me kai said early 2022. Ebra na yenya power fluctuations no. Me kai said me senior Matiopuku Prempe. e de betu dwa sabre na Kumasi aish because most traders and business people kasa including the overlord of Ashanti Kingdom say omojapade say and for that matter it was a buying etu anamon say the obesisi and into nabo enya sa cliche say dum siesi or say dum siesi because we shall pylons na guma year in the early 60s and one year changina all the power generation through the transmission lines ayedi ba gridco edima yisigi nyina no for instance this is the linya yes say be even though we add on the generation no transmission is a power no ye generate no and one fm no na what the so we need to change all these lines and wunna matching matter wunna kromwa you see some of the gridco for technicians almost saying and man they are working all over you see them all over the place and the when no edika enieba adiba kusu na edi enya bebre is about how to dwindle the system losses because we generate now we transmit here so we fa nhihyepa ento akwamu a you get some system losses when there is a cost which invariably it is passed on to the consumer and the wish standards no I think Africa's West Africa no either about 30 or less than 20% of system loss no say ne was a bano. So you must be able to maintain that threshold. Anything above that, and the system loss, as you count, illegal connection. Philip, there are a lot of people who doesn't want to pay, and they find means of connecting illegally. Consumer power no and person butia. Now when you know we na wouldn't say a banner sanwa, you are passing on to other consumers now. And and the need to replace obsolete equipment. Even na make up 1960 equipment yet to we need to replace them because when the efficiency running of let is na idea mayano and the baby and now when you look at the cost of all these services it factor into tariffs almost ombenya mijitum se ebintumuno akosrododo. But I was say say it was almost a juma no moyano. There should be a way to give us services ano ebe brasi eden edia mayen. And the minute before edika I share in their pain say sabi kroma yeshe na kroma na yeshe no so omo expect say anka ntumuno ebekọ efom kakra se dia omo ba hia won kakra. And we dey yebesre say the next increment meba no na mo hwe say omo too much so that timemufo betumi ayeden afford some of these things that are coming up because we are about Ghana water last year mini twumi ya na yetia and I mema video about galamsey takwa chempem I would be a tap na nsuo ne ba no entumtum na when nyina se yepese yedani nsuo nani a Ghana water chemicals na odugum no nyina eska yedi yetie baby o na ye blaming Ghana water say o man nsuo nani eye ne mai but it is money and that chemical omakoto a yedi begu nsuo no mu a ebe dani nani a ansana ebe clean yedi mai me ya no nti me ka say me checks am any say galamsey no eswate pa seriously the involvement of the military all over. One of these days, let's invite the lands minister to come and give us updates. I will be here do say no because me who say I come from kakra, but there's some recalcitrant ones there. I'm share more. I'm video be on social media. Also, I go for the person we share. Galamsey ne ye no, but as coward as they are, wako to be yinedim. So your bema can so yinedim. Non sampa we bema na we galamsey, but so coward. O share more on your due. And the make say so far so good. Next increment ebe na PRC for na emano enkoso bebre said the atimem for betumi afford edia mayen. Meka we a na meka okujeto any prophet kusi boating.
Yeah, the National Cathedral in sense. But answer no prophet Kusi Boateng issue statement. I mean, it was since the story broke, on Kasa. Maybe I would have to read the statement. What Timmy to us. We say it's dated 16th January 2023. National Cathedral allegations of corruption, conflict of interest, and dual identity against Reverend Victor Kusi Boateng. I have taken note of some defamatory publications and allegations made against my person by Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, MP for North Tong. I am also informed that Mr. Ablakwa has petitioned the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice to investigate the said allegations he's leveled against me. I wish to assure the general public that the statements made by Mr. Ablakwa are a twisted narration of events to pursue a malicious political agenda. There has never been any criminal intent nor any crime committed in my dealings with the government of Ghana or the National Cathedral. I look forward to the Shraj inquiry, during which I'll present my side of the matter to the Commission. I'll subsequently also address the matters fully in public without first seeking to prejudice the public mind as he has done. Additionally, when all is done, I'll seek redress against Mr. Ablakwa for his deliberate defamatory statement against me. I'll continue to contribute my quota to the National Cathedral project and offer my services to the country to the best of my ability. Signed, Reverend Victor Kusi Boateng. That statement were issue.
Fantastic response. Fantastic. Na o kasano o say Okudzeto say their lead producer edibetu dwan eno ye ne ya na no nti
enye de odibetu dwan no o say nsem bi okan nsem ne bi o ho na the language was insulting. We've apologized for what happened.
I am doing what we call discourse analysis.
Of what?
Of asem na okano. Na
as I want to say okan bibi me na me kan.
What na we say okan say we kan say mate. Ono the producer kan no eno ye ne ya. Do you know the pain and the havoc he has caused to Prophet Kusi Boateng?
That's all only the Prophet Kusi Boateng.
Because we didn't attempt.
And I'm producer no edi na tem. E can be bia or consider say we didn't attempt.
No. We are doing analysis. No. Assemble Kaya will say you didn't attempt no. That is your show. Yes. So you apologize. Yes. I agree. Yes. I want to put myself in Prophet Kusi Boateng's shoes. Dia wabetre in some of what comfort and ra. You see, I want to start with the Bible. The Psalm 105 verse 15. Or say, never touch my anointed or harm, do them no harm.
Psalm 105.
Psalm 105 verse 15. Touch not my anointed and do them no harm. Prophet Victor Kusi Boateng is a man of God. Is a prophet of the Lord. Now, say, what sorry now you will research whatever you want to do. And you go and do one-sided investigation. So me sorry me lawyer chum na tie. Na ma control ni one sem bebrebe. And I never gave him that opportunity to respond to the so-called investigation. I'm not being fair to him.
That's not the question.
Me please.
That would be the appropriate.
And I can tell you what he has done is a very useless and wasteful exercise. Trust me.
Useless is harsh. Or a member of Parliament, or a member of Parliament.
Who to an amumbia and so show me me say it's a waste of the state resources because Shraj and they're going to investigate.
Sure.
And I can tell you, it will end nothing.
Really?
I'm telling you. Look, I have a copy. Or see, Reverend Victor Kusi Boateng. I want multiple names. Also, multiple names. And then the ding fufro and I didn't do fufro and your dinam. True, we are canning. Mima I can for this year. On for Chimabwa. Yes. Mammy, Mam Penino. Oh, mommy,
okay.
And that's your met to Chini. I'm a free Chebia as a Fojana. And Jobet to incredible Chebi. Who's that?
Send the penny free Chebin. Sorry. Send the penny free Chebin and just watching you.
And he,
yes,
Philip. There may patch in the say. Yes, I can for your woo. If you do two, no, a do baby now would near you have every right to change it. You have every right to change it.
Sure.
A day I did two women no papa did two woody no would yin could do pempesubia. What to Mrs. Sandino? Now I have some way okujeto air cancer or suffer kusibwating a use multiple names. So wouldn't say a court of my ruling was so. Supreme Court of my ruling was so. On this use of multiple names, the case of Kofi Sapon versus Franklin Jantwa, suit number J4/15/2015. There's a ruling on it. And let me quote with your permission. This is about
Okay.
The trial court also considered that it is not illegal for any person to acquire property in his native name. The Court of Appeal considered this and concluded it did not violate any law unless there was proof that it was done with a criminal purpose. It is common knowledge that among the accounts, the name that is given at birth is very often not the same name that the person carries, especially when he goes to church and is baptized with a Christian name or the name that he carries into school. Meanwhile, back home, he is commonly known and called by his native name given at birth. Thus, it will not surprise anybody if such person acquire property in the native name. It is an age-old practice, quote and unquote. Sir, I say, way also for Kusibati Zakuja to say there were multiple names. So it is being called. It is a ruling on this. And Mess Reminia Eduji Tabaklo. Uncle Shusha way, ruling way to aid him. Because Oye Joman client. That is the first point. And the fact say, Papa no what ding baby, you know, the Indiano. And if you ding, and the Mofra said ding, always for some time, and son of Osisano. So there's nothing criminal about it. And the ruling need catch and say, so long as a dinner or use na wasisano, one fango di boneno, on your body. So that is the first point. Now, Okoja to say, Wakojiska, every national cathedral, and for that matter, there's conflict of interest. I know on the fact, say, Edu baby, our national cathedral for no. Now I was almost three contractors for no. The payment was due 1 year Juma. I could see baby. Now I was a controller for every release wedding at the moment. So at one of the steering committee meetings, it was tabled and discussed. And he said, as you been wine or bet me a boy, you bet me yes can edia track contractor in term. I'm a yesika never control the bantama, then we can refund the money to the person. Now said you me send it. You what them wa ye Juma. Na I will say a cabida anymore, I will say tracker. That's a canon. A young man, contractor no ed as your consul. Say your face cambra. And ye be say, I will say, as a wine band no bet me a bois, ye bet me a twist cadia maway. I must can I expect every baby diabano, and you bet to account to ma, never for Nippon common. I don't see anything wrong about here. And the question is, was there any paper trail? Was there any official communication between the board of the National Cathedral and Reverend Kusibwating? Of course, his company is it JNS or whatever they call it?
Yeah,
JNS. So, on 16th of on the 26th of August, 2 days before my birthday, 2021, the director, JNS Talent Center Limited, Accra, dear director, title, Loan to pay contractors for the National Cathedral of Ghana. And I quote, the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral is to make payments to the contractors of the National Cathedral project, which is overdue. Payment have delayed at the Controllers and Accountant General Department. We therefore seek financial assistance of 2.6 million cedis from GNS Talent Center Limited as a top-up to our balance, which we are expecting to be credited into our account by 15th of September 2021 at the very latest. This loan request has become necessary due to the urgency to advance the second payment for the next phase of the work on the National Cathedral. The loan will be refunded as soon as we receive payment allocated from the Controller and Accountant's General Office. Yours truly, signed, Paul Opokumensa, PhD, Executive Director, National Cathedral of Ghana. So this is a formal communication between the National Cathedral Board, JNS, and since when did he become a very saying a bonning say who will na ekwono ehia wo mo a se enungwase yaba enti mame mbomodin na min service enungwase na yaba no na min tua kamfa mamu e di ba na mu fasika mamu boni me na wo mu. So that is why I have a problem with my colleague Ablakwa. And the oil investigation now, did he have opportunity to see one of these communication? The trustee, the board of the National Cathedral, you see the problem I have with him? So we hear investigation because you wanted to satisfy your political expediency, because the National Cathedral has been demonized. Now you want to extend it to the men of God? Now you want to extend this to the men of God? So this is the paper trail. This is official communication.
He thinks once or member of parliament on or approve spending for government, say public funds, echo individual be a or a right to want to go in there and see say BBI above board.
Asema ye ken.
Yes.
The Armenia Black kan ye. Parliament approve ye de betuaka. E de akọ controller. Payment to the contractor for work done is due. Na sikano se ne ba ye expect sikano was oba because contractors why a woman is kaju no traso. Anambwa. And na ye cost steering committee meeting and this matter was raised. And na ye do two why no betumi dia boy. And kusi boating bonia why and say I have the means to support the National Cathedral. Kada da hono said the musaka ni sikano. Na mufa sikamo me. Woni be na why? Is that a sin? Where is the corruption here? And he said, me watch me. Now me catch me nyachum ze chum. Me speech skabi every baby diaba. Te me sraw. But me busia me second skano me to me dia maw. As a former member of parliament, na se me twira ya paperwork e diaba. Na se skano e dia mamia. Na se me twia e dia machuma. Ehi e na me ye boni. Ehi na me ye boni. That is the problem I have with Ablakwa. Kusi boating enne osofo penin wa boni bra. Because of politics, you can denigrate his image with no common. A lot of people, and especially, I'm here to listen to what lawyer Benma is going to say. I am here to listen to what he's going to tell us. But what say in this funny be? You look at their tabloids, their parachikis, and some of them only the big can be one on say yeah. By this time, do you know what Kusibating and his family and the children are going through? That you are subjecting before Shirai? Do you know the pain and the agony you have caused him?
Now, Odeneko Shraja, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it?
Yes.
Hey.
Now, the Shraj would provide a forum for you to ventilate your issue.
I have every support. Now, the letter now, why issue no? Also about Veli himself to charge for and the Hono Sinimu and the Behunchali. And Namona Kuja to no is becoming too many. Yes, Emile Tremono, also a champion of aircrafts, if anything, aircraft experts. So he can determine the cost of President Akwanto Otu and the Sika was saying that idea. But let me ask him, when was a deputy minister? His first job, a Jumo year pa was the first job, a deputy minister formally. Of free university by Juma Beno.
But now you are personalizing.
No, I'm not personalizing.
You are.
I am not.
You understand the Jumo year?
I am not. Please.
He is now a member of parliament.
Member of parliament.
I was saying oversight responsibility over the executive and its spending.
Once I meet people, you are not comfortable.
No, I'm not comfortable.
I'm not personalizing.
There is an issue on the table.
I just want Okudete to know.
Yes.
Sir, a man of the deputy minister took his own so, or the business start took my economy because of don't set it protecting. Because he wants his comfort, he wants his security, and to took my back and to Mampenia Kufado. But as the president of the republic, the security of the president is a concern of the state. That's what Tukanya. What to be called on Tinso, Eco Chrono, a consum, Akasia. Meanwhile, you're not an expert. And did you make Hanan say? Or no say, Sign Namuntono Paso to the or no Nasem, a son or son, and anasem. But the me patcha me catcher and say, in some wa you don't do one-sided investigation. We are auditing, normal auditing. We are auditor. Your mad auditing no opportunity to respond to some of the queries. And send a final report number. And we are winning one board of trustees in let alone the administrator of the National Cathedral. And the person involved, Reverend Victor Kusibuating, you didn't even go to him to find out. All because you want to satisfy your political egos. You want to make all kinds of aggrandizement to your and for me, may catch you there. It is going to be a waste of state resources and a useless exercise.
Mamina say lawyer Chum, Maminti on this particular issue. I bounce on Mamima, yes, James Kwababon for Akwaba. No, Memo Akwaba, na mabane ho, amanakasa. Why? Okay. James, Koye.
No, Mamma Akwaba.
We Akwaba. Oh, yeah, official pa.
So I think committee.
I feel in Shio.
In Shai Ubi. Say, Aja. Wadofo no way me afim.
Oh, me say you.
Na no only sami javi mo koye we di sa mu yi me fimu.
Sami wa invite you.
Me wa invite. When sa di pe da mi yanu kuma mo de sa ye me no. Enya choose anko.
And cook
na choose.
Mo to kakra ba man yanu mti. Sami
ni na mu no. Okay. Where you want
selective invitation.
Ni na mu no me na nanom say. Obi 2023 January 1st atwe. Na asembia eye me de pa on the eve of Christmas 1939. Say Second World War na do ne pompo so na that time King George the VI ne papa wu na ni say on no obedi adi o, but somehow nyame akwan edoso na de Queen Elizabeth
papa sure
na Queen Elizabeth had the poem bi ko fie or come or like or kind man here poem no ma me be a friend of Louisa Haskins no Troy 1908 put your hand in the hand of God and King George can here say we are seeing more sumo na ye dwendwene di besie di ebe ye ni de keka ho no kan poem no say I met the man at the gate of the year and asked him to give me light into the darkness of the year. And he told me, put your hand in the hand of God. You will need no light. He will lead you into the unknown.
Amen.
Ya bibia she nyame nsa ye ni problem. But ya de ya niema nyina she nyame nsa no na eno mame engineer akua ofori boaten or Anglican priest.
Okay.
Parliamentary service for lessons of 9 carols, 9 lessons and carols.
Sure.
On no co preach here. The same be okay. Niema miensa. Sa I check there na I go here for no de come Yesu no. I say ye hwe say ye di be ye adwuma di kan doing right. Ye ne ye. Enya ya pedie nyina na ye. Ye ne ye. Wotim na hye badwafie. Wo ye soafo. Wo ye mranimni. Wo ye temuafo. Wo ye dawuboni. Wo ye sentrofo. Wo ye kuani. Wo di dwa. Nyeye ene ne wo ye nana. Ne to so bio. Ye bema yakoma ate ama ya ye papa. Ye gibenya humobro ma nipa. Show mercy. Show mercy to one another. Na de atwa to de kan ho ahobrase. If mamu tro nwum bi ahobrase ya adikitikiti bi a esombu kron. Na se nipa mpo ahobrase ye fa nyame de eye ne fa boroso. No bi biara o bre ne ho ase bia no nyame ma no so chen bibia enu nti na okokan Philip Fongoma Philip Fongoma wa ngoma eye eti eye friends mienu
yes
chichemu enum copy medu no a Yesu bre ne ho ase na oye Nyankopon so wa mu ne ho so oye nyame na obewu anunguasi wo nti ya mani din so eche din bia. At the mention of Jesus every knee shall bow. Obi enti ye wura fifufuru mu yi na mesere nyina no yemfa ye ho hye nyame nsa na ye de ye ho hye nyame nsa no na ye de etene na ye kire hu mobro na de ahobrase e ya adwuma
fantastic and James Kwabena Bonfe and your training kano ave lawyer Chum my memory of mintie or thought on this National Cathedral Sofo Victor and it's Sami Okuyeto Black one sense me
of me that's and Chanko mo ajibre ehwe etie and then once again my mention have me and penifo abno share honorable titles and then honorable titles quite tight Daniel Ni
Titles Global Daniel Ni Titles Global Osa your hene wo
akwabia obro ye na manfo twanin so sa na ba ko gina nche no se mompam mo ku bi mfa wa yi ndoko bi ma na no se ti dia ba ko ne kan timati anyway so my main friend free will be senior started free no PURC increment.
Yes.
I ran to know who in charge near Mini Akatwa. I know him very well.
Ishmael.
Yeah. And I don't envy you, Ishmael, because what man there what is he do at but fans I come. We had increment in the body. Yeah, for people I mean man for bus park but it's one of those things. So working as living. Having said that, no, the mechanic say, you see, baby, you just say no, kasa no. I mean, people are willing, man for dia or man for kasa, just because of a number more ayedning. And you see, and yet, wapayo and then yes, man for they complain. That's what we're complaining. But if you really know and understand the reality, indeed, and you're wedding, and the kanami means you see enemy hunu. Sabre na manfo wa hunyihia mu kase na de nkensan fa bimpi won so yes it is needful ebia na ehia self said senator was ken one or two things be equal for that increment but the question is the time right time ya de ba sisi ya nei ya kwadi bro nya aba nra ya manfo hu nyina papa mu asan wukra ya da ote yi enso na nko ye papa yi na ya san twa increment sabre school fees obia de yatum some are having double increase and so on and so forth and near that day na parents complaining na so gusu kasa na wano krensi ye no yes I twa another one yes ya tutu light be mu ya to wunso di mu enso de enyo bia na nya bi ntino hono kwade ya na me so pay attention kase but can and everybody enjoys it so the question is the timing mum de I don't see the timing to be right and I think senka enya branu nie na mum ko mo twetwa mo na aska kama manimum ye se enhan kakra ana nkasabre I mean sade na start say bank hadwen because even as you speak those who are even working have not even gotten any increment. There's a proposed increment but and reflect the baby and for that reason they are still enjoying the same money that they were enjoying. So what I say, and this was some brand increment in certain utilities or bear or bra was an additional cost be a year kind of I mean and another way to police for instance on school fees won't make us won't. So what I say, no matter what you pay or rent you tomorrow won't make us won't no matter what you pay because your landlord doesn't care about whatever is happening in the country. Also a so what I say, so all these things, putting all this into consideration, I don't think they said the timing was right. Senka a brewe in bra, yenfa increment me pu Ghana for so. The government should have thought twice in that decision and that could obey imponwa as a contribution nice cancer.
Pushing
exactly. Not at this moment, because ye could bring a name no man for soon that. Yakoba ye yan answer. What I say? And you know, Ghana for some say, bring any whether you like it or not, they add it to all the holidays that they will get to. And the indirectly, bring an into the holidays. The last holiday was around, I think, 8th, if I'm right. Yeah. Indeed, now there's a make me sure I say, when we did bring an 8th January, technically. Okay, and after 8th, you could have no be so that resume year properly. Or more co leave, woman co live near the union, I be able back to full time. So what I say, into Sabre now, what back to foot and that's Sabre in what they say bullet in Sharon. I think that it's too hard to carry. It's too hard to carry. Until where they are buying a money, and I think that they should think twice, or they should go back to revise their notes. And next time, so be busy. Where they are buying their own trains, you know them, they will never reverse it. But so next time, not be busy about. Consider the ordinary man. There are people, anybody bit your money more. You said, But there are those that they are obi. When we say there are people who wake up in the whole day no one 5 cities gra. And easy. So such a person, no, now we are trying to say increase here. We opompo okotua. No the other go nya na now the offer no and when you bro. And easy sir. So next time somebody in Ghana for one day, they should think twice instead on when they are taking certain decisions. Having said that, so we see what the second name was saying.
Kwabena Edu Chemfi, I think. Well, let me get
okay. But what we wouldn't say, let's be in all reality. So what to say, Dim, you know, will you think say the same person?
so
Fanasa na sami mai. Fanasa asembi mai. Obisia no be boss say Dim, you know, would you ever think say the same person?
Not just a nipa ne bo in reference to one person, Tremia.
No.
And that's what born in normal.
I mean, Obia Bokabla Dinyamfi.
Yes.
And or Sambo Victor Kusibuati.
Oh no, and they say you will not think. On the face of it, you will not think.
Thank you.
The same person.
This is a man can say this is anyhow.
Okay.
As a lawyer, I know that there's a name change. People do it. Okay, Obiba worry na by better so worry, you know. Wa so fani kundin kan enya compulsory there. But obi one person gain that Mrs. title no for that reason ni kundin be kan ho. Otimi sisane din eyi bi free mu de bi kan or onyi bi free power de ni kundin na eden e bi be so especially the surname of the husband.
FM 94.
Obi so ebi abadin to mu. Okay? When you din bia be kan din ho wasan din and as one was saying indeed akamam no obi a ofie din. But you fear din no, to be very honest with you, if fear din ya na normally a tie would din ya wo kra dadin no. Me kra dadin I'm a Thursday but me fear din normally when I hear the word ne bidin nana yawa it means obia will need me from me or me fear nipa bi na from me chuma I don't expect to see any other person than such people. Exactly. And the Bible said in the afro. And this I mean hardly was either colleague call me by that. When I hear chum, me chuma I expect to see a colleague either from the bar or police or BB sir and me who say or boss said in the afro. I mean me din bia matibia na me baby amati because we say wo and din wa. And that o me say say nkofo we chia mo bia twisi the opposite of the floor. So that's no obi wa officer Alex na like I was just saying I don't like so brony bia e me say number for me because obodi ni say no. Do be say me din me mo me full name Jordan Alexander and open me question
94.7
because they can catch us boa the way I say pronounce no e nyama so there it mean get what is it so that is it but we did not to nchen dear maybe how you mean because make mas na me kakra
okay
I have known him from mas in those days ni dia minimum anasa matia e common a sound anasa ringing bell in everybody's ear the popular one
Victor Kusibuati.
I know the oba I mean obi out when for the past 20 years bia that name should sound in your ears especially so if you are region kakra nasa u relating kumasi kakra that name kumasa software I mean me nyine na wo so mu dimu no oka ho bi. So that name rings bell. Now, I don't know. You say papa our company. Now the company no any aban adwuma bia kodin sa wo so. Ana won wakobo besia. Sorry, won wakobo ne nchen besia. Ana won so am bie na at some point they will find the money back to them. Ana pa na metie me amesnia eduji. And he made reference to a particular document, i.e. the bank statement. And he said that at some point, a payment was made to that company, JNS, of about 3.something million Ghana cedis from the Accountant General Office. To the best of my knowledge, Accountant General Office, so when you're public servant, when you're second from number one. So they will never send you any money.
That's controller and accountant general.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I'm making controller, as they sometimes call them. Number two, so when you be our when you are buying,
why you buying?
They will never make any payment to your account. Now no krano. So we are buying they are paying. They can't pay to your person, but to your institutions because normally doing that. Normally you have to deal with government through a company.
Sure.
Enti anu bisa na be hu. The third thing you say be government internal transactions, moving from one ministry or from government to a ministry or whatever, and decided they regulate or they are in charge of say payments, paying ministers, government officials and so on and so forth. Woman has idea in Now the question I asked in the morning, which I'm going to ask again, let's say, did he do any business for government which yielded that amount of money in a better accounting first amount would it be a borrow Cathedral?
But is it not possible because Oshe Honorable Okujeto post now?
Yeah,
he makes the point say there are so many other registered companies the same name. Run it through all those registered companies.
The same name as in
the name
JNS,
no. Say JNS near subsidiary.
Okay.
Like now, one company belonging to him. Sure. It was something to do with all those companies.
As a director or something?
As director, shareholder, I don't know. But I'm specific on that.
That's fine.
You know. And yet possible, say, maybe one of his companies might have done job for a government agency or a ministry or whatever, for which reason the controller had to pay into JNS account. Okay. And I say be a JNS now
so that is why anytime we say I'm putting a question to him. So the statement Abasa is ready to
sure avail himself.
Exactly. Yeah. So for clarity purposes, there are so many companies, as you are saying, linked to that name, as he may be a shareholder, he may be a director without even shares or whatever. And the question is, which of these companies did that transaction with government? Is it the same JNS or a different one?
Or a different
If it's a different one, payment cannot be made to JNS. When it was Chumberima Company which did it. The payment will only be made to Chumberima Company Limited.
Because Chumberima Company Limited did the job for
exactly.
It is entirely possible to say JNS here, Juma Mabain.
All right.
And Abain Triaka.
I can't say yes to that.
Okay.
Because minimum.
Okay.
So that's why I'm putting the question, say, for that quantum, over 3 million Ghana cedis to come into your account from government, can't be a charity.
Oh, that.
All right? And for that reason, you know, say, is it like, well, you be and son when you say, I mean, that is my first point of call.
Okay.
And some question about the alone now, I mean, that is a secondary matter. Okay. Because when you say, you cannot say, when you say, Eddie Biama. And if you check the statement, I mean, analysis now, you reckon that he credited from saying National Cathedral after he had received that money from controller. Which means no man can only make a battery. That's one time he can put a question first.
Okay.
Then we come to the main issue asking say National Cathedral for say at some point now they were short of funds, right?
Yes.
And you know here sika. Obi my main found ko Bible no kakra aduru ho no de say ndie ayatro no asem me bua na enti yanko Bible no kakra na hwade bi. My verse that I'm going to use this afternoon is Luke 14:28 to 30.
Luke 14:28
to 30.
Okay. Eva. Luke 14:28 to 30. For which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first and count the cost?
I decided that oversee my cousin, my boss, but my pajabro science you, but my puja 3-bedroom house, yes, you, my puja 2-bedroom house, yes, you, my boss. One nick can answer
whether he has enough to finish it.
Send me what he come to me, dear. And now I'm a qua, make my book come along the line, meet me, young man. And now make me 100 year candy be ready. Ask me for a scene, Mammy Hobos, but
lest after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. That
is the Bible talking to you. I am asking the man who's promised God to build the cathedral. It is not in the MPP manifesto.
94.7.
So any MPP policy. Me am when I started my legal education, a me chinchine ngofo akro susu mbra no obi me ne me nyankopon kwapam se rade dum me na me babi a me nam bebrebe nyinara me di be wiam na de me hwe me nsatimi ka de me ma me nyankopon me modin de rade I had a covenant with God me wie ye na timba mu ampampa indeed there were two different covenants I've done or my can say like my team me bossa so e onyame anim so what I say o pema mpanina bedi na wonam so hye nyame bossa se rade dum wo made a wo pay ya wa profit 1995-96 se timi be kawansa wonnane wachi manada ne made a de be chenani enemy bisa media person be no interview me and pay question be say can he tell me how much Nana Akufo-Addo as a person has contributed to the National Cathedral
like on personally
what do you say
but I know so my 100,000 be at a point and I'm saying more I think around 100,000 he's been giving was bulk ya wo mu ana we in
you say I know the Bible na verse na me di kama o kan ye yes e basic cathedral na so wo hye na so basic cathedral ma nyankopon what na so dwendwen ho ene ho ka ohun so betuma wie asa na wako that is the Bible was it say what na say as si wa kan na hu say wo fura se a you can do what finish. Did he sit down to think and analyze to see say adwuma be dem say ko kan me so mu ametimi awie because of dwene ho ko akire du say levels nyina obi kenu ha kawe ma kan me duru say ye be ko private individual bi wasa boy ye besia ye be go project ye twes ka bi say baba kan ma but unfortunately it is obvious that he did not sit down to think and plan about this whole thing. And as I say, it is very obvious that he didn't sit down to think and plan about cost and every other thing. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. The first time I hear a shortcutting for the National Cathedral, go and check it. Well, yeah, not the architectural design of the cathedral was not even out. That was the first shortcutting we hear. Cathedral was shortcutting twice. After that first shortcutting, and no by unveiling of the architectural design a year after that first shortcutting, or by unveiling of the design, and then after unveiling the design a year also after or something, then he did that second shortcutting, and now Captain Smart Cosmo who cement because that was the second shortcutting.
And no more here,
no
more here there. Omo eda na omo de foundation stone
and that's na nya no shortcutting that's shortcutting bia go do why o mampani okoye no otifo ma na se bia oto block back meboa and that's time bia hu no say na hu no ntia no shortcutting officially and every say shortcutting okay but my point is say how do you do a shortcutting I'm talking about the first shortcutting without even knowing the design of the building is it possible Uber for say yes free projects be ase. O my project in design company na ready that time. So you have not even seen it. How it was going to look like.
FM 94.7.
1 year after, you can open your team be able to Google. 1 year after no year unveiling of the National Cathedral, the design. So it is still taking you to the word of God. Wow, can you say he did not sit down to plan. One planning here. One unique. And a similar thing happened to him again, the same person, Ekosiisen, when he was talking about free education, then time in the UK. When BBC had talked to Yebusa about the cost. He had not planned about the cost. No, you know, I mean, the obvious answer everybody knows. I will not repeat it. So my point here is that if you, when you go upon our pump, when you make a conscious personally, now person or not, Bible said, nature senka would can't say. Assessing, me boka sen, e de na me hia. Na me fura se berben na makowie ne berben, na me fura se metimi awie. Wo so betimi dia ko.
You think so man yes how na many nyina.
And me say wo mo ye anke nuru ha.
Because we're told from the get go say enye oman ni sika no mo de betua ni nyina. Oman ni provide asase, no mo provide seed funding. They are kind of board of trustees and the
you see yeah na okay, some people would think say I'm a staunch Christian. No,
I know that.
Me know to show you I'm so for Texas from UK. Thank you. So yes, you fake it. But you see, Bible says, so if something is going on, I have every right per the Bible, biblically, to, critically analyze it and then let you know whether or not I agree or disagree with you on something that you are doing. If you had to be, having come to say, like,
say, Omokai from the get go. Say, and your mine is kind of $400 million, or mine ebema asase. No more provided seed funding. The first seed funding, the first budget, or mine the BB shame for National Cathedral, $20 million. In the honor,
yeah. My point in here, when he was promising God,
sure,
was the promise on the facts or on the premise say, made your minds ask in the basic cathedral? That's my first question. Question number 2. Did he promise God say what your minds can be seen and now one personal person on Yanko say? Okay, so I have 1,001 reasons to ask the for the question. And I'm telling one reasons to believe this scripture point. Okay, yes, one planet. What kind of but now we knew how the thing was going to be because now we knew Obi. In the first case, your private promise. I do at your National Cathedral. You know, first and yet under any state institution, it was private. I say no, converting the man. So obviously, like I'm saying, or like the Bible is saying, you have not planned it. So now planning, you wouldn't have started from a private institution and then come and convert it or add it onto a state institution. Now making the state responsible to bear certain costs that you should have bear on your own. This is the point I'm making. So say, and nay, I better shed your couple be sent to 1 month be sent to the end 1 year being. Sanka what do what the young year who now we are here. That is the point I'm making.
Behon na mentors, how can someone who because they were clear in the fact that and yes, they set up the board of trustees to help in raising funds for the project.
Obi,
Abino, how much the government was going to put in.
That still brings me to the point that I'm telling you that as you read, okay, you one I can scripture. No?
Yes.
Is there anyone planning to build in a new house and doesn't first sit down and figure out the costs? Okay. When the Nadu was making that promise, it's an intention to do something. What did he think about them before making that promise to God? And when the first one went into it's none of them son the same thing. Of course, I said, I will not want to me too. That is the question I'm asking him. Because I have every reason to believe that Koka, National Cathedral, Sikai, Abandia more, one must receive you less. Where is he saying? It's obvious you did not have any plan about this thing and just made a vague promise to God. Vague promise to God. What you want to be a bicycle or not? So the more from the transit was a cathedral phone. One must have received less than the figure that you could. One thing was a customer, one thing, other one thing. What? Why from all distance? Why from all distance? If we had planned well, like the Bible is telling you, do you think we would have gotten to this stage? We wouldn't. But for your failure to plan, your failure to anticipate things in its right direction, this is where we are.
And you think, sir, the allegations by the Honourable Member of Parliament against the man of God, because of the lack of planning?
Those allegations, and Penifo said, "Down who pay and what it you and this is a number than any psychic would be ready anymore. That and me build the argument from there now. But for your actions and inactions here, where they can't permit it, and now man could do a private individual who can't you wouldn't have done that if you had sat down to think thoroughly about that project. And this Bible verse number 1. Sanka what try say I share the Yakobon catcher one I want to say munua. And I would no so me say can we do purpose so because we talk see what was on man company more percent.
FM 94.7.
Na ka be do say purpose go huni dia won e dia won di any dia won. But because you failed to plan, because you didn't do what the Bible wants you to do. And only into what dan ho pai. Ana ntache nya kwan Roman na akofa we nyina ba. Ntache na be Roman en de asie ya nne. Okopie mo strategy. That is the point I'm making. we could have avoided all these things if he had planned and planned well and gotten to know what is involved of what he was telling God. So just here, but because you fail to do all these things, and yes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, I want to say the wow kind was it they went me and you see what to try yourself. Busa I was watching about when you want what by no sooner 2025 was when the president be. Abana Wabandu think as interested to continue that project.
94.7.
A private project, send them they can catch on. And next state project, because I knew my policy PM. Muna Mudi Bedroom. Number 2, political party no belong to no manifesto am the winning elections. So any party in ideology, and your party in vision, and so possess ye and I say Nyakonya ABCD anyhow. It is your own private thing that you decided to do.
But is that not why the board of trustees are apolitical people in a former board of trustees? No, who can
board of trustees now be as resign?
What's it?
Me say.
Oh, na say Omo resign and they resigned long time ago.
I didn't know resign.
Bishop Dag resigned, I think, 2 years ago.
Why did he resign? Did he tell you why he resigned?
Send a letter of resignation and public, so we wouldn't have.
Resign.
And then me say, I think CTFM any a copy of the letter.
Okay. And what did they say?
Almost realize it, the content.
So what did
some of
hear?
them are kind on my jaw online. Or
Osena
umeki like advice.
Thank you. That's the only point I wanted. What my better as imposted you say you mean as a matter you message again from my own some. Now me come again to answer we say the make and who ya over the as matter. In any case, woman you are for any nyame crop for let me put it in that general context. And I most selective woman board no so
sure.
You didn't just select them, but you felt that they have some kind of input that they can bring on board. And it's and I go on some also. It's an input to the mawa or sample. Now for some here, I didn't go on.
Now so omodo so say any pa ba kope. Ah. In there be a majority decision they be hold.
Woman na come with actually there. Woman na come there. So biya be kan dey actually biya kan empon. Okay? So ni nyina ko ba be we dey make their try some am do gina so ya so.
Okay.
Sankiat to na mani ye from infrasia ke me do.
Ka we mu nyina.
Ka we ma.
Okay.
How on earth would assuming, let's take it from the beginning and say, if you are the infrastructure, na national policy. Not so my idea Ghana policy, that's a national policy. How on earth would Ghana go to Victor Kusibuati that we are going for a loan from him? Oh, I mean, what about? I mean,
JNS.
He has interest in that company, so Mr. Bones has something right. What does he? I bet, and I don't want to bet. The free
separate legal personalities.
So what does he? Yes. So then, and I'm making
okay.
Yes, see, when second Dubai, was here bound just where was there? I own my policy. It's a national asset. Ghana project.
Very well.
Thank you.
Very well. I mean, I say.
We'll come back to the other
oh, yeah, we'll come back to the other issue. I mean, James, sir, in some way, James Kwabena Bonfe. Okay, but honorable, Mumra say Kakana, Omo Ayesha, James Kwabena Bonfe. David. I will see you who now, Yasha or Nalem shirt and so Kakra. James, me and you.
Obi. 2023.
Asempa FM 94.7.
Oh, radio so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team Empire and say Naso Asanko me krada.
I said
Kwabena.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
No so need da onyame ema no cred daddy pa. The day of separation. Po you so the obekwa kudru nie asase the obekwa kudru nie nti yeah obia hun di ni lemu. That's right. The day of separation and reality. The empire ni say enyom etidukono dunkono enyom dunkono ene enan no o say ma no kasa enemy susuye enyinara onyame ma enye de beso wani na afei nso so enyom oha eni dunkuno ene nchichemu oha ne enum no ma wasem enye me na ase kanea
ene me kwan so han
da nie
na mabom pa ye se Ghana fo nyina no ye be hu emre a ye wom obi maka kire o happen Bresosem Chronicles didikan ti dumienu chichemu aduasamienu no wasi Isaka manu hunu bria no wo tu Israel.
The sons of Issachar understood the times. The times.
And they advised Israel accordingly. Ye bebre yen timre na ye wo mu no yen tiase.
Asempa FM 94.7
pierce through our illusions of certainty and control. It has taught us that we are not in charge. Someone else is. Let's be sober. Say na me no ka say COVID-19 vaccines ya wo nyina achi no. Yes new variant aba. Me boa.
I said new dem aba new variant aba be 5 time crown more anambwa. Sure. Aba 5 time.
For public interest, mesre Ghana fo nya ye nya hwe yi. Because you pay attention to detail. E ka ho bebre na asem bia ba ya huru ne aka no media mu na wuko. We can't run a nation and bring about corrections just in the media. Public exposure but asem I say ye de ko asem dibia ekodie no. Yantimi me kan wo radio so. Asem I say ye de ma oman enkrabata ohwe boni hwehwe mu ni ade so ya mfa ma wo no na de akotena social media na ya kan wo ho tra na ekọ enchechire man ema ne yeye na asem de ba ko anamete ye Kenya ni frani a odikan a yaye no priest Roma Asafo na me do to ma sorry platform so na menua ba ko o kan se o ezi Asafo kra ya nya sofo ni frani ewo ha or say brand new union. I want to believe around the 60s and the 70s. A issue now obi a wotie me bia enkan disabled God
94.7
Nancy Eastland 1994 any PhD thesis the disabled God na me kan we e dey actress ye wi ase a ye Tuesday see ade a travel ye the SDGs 17
sustainable development
goals no where the back and the can in afua inclusion no being for be a friend of John Henry Clark or say a civilized society or nation is measured by how well it takes care of its most marginalized and vulnerable. Mse me da to me we kra enu nti na ye nanam titifo no omkwa ako a obi yenkum ma yenkum mofra. That's how sophisticated our pre-colonial African society was. Impo enquire momu hu so mo yenkwa ye kan mo ben aje asemasi and this transatlantic slavery na eye so inhuman I buy be say man anyway that's just by the way obi national cathedral nsense me koso ma nhwe ya na makoka sede sebi me pese me cheze me ninche obia asembe na aba obi asembe na aba
unte
asembe na aba
sonte obi za onzonte
you see Ghana nya chumbe kwe
Asempa FM 94.7
2017 Miko Supreme Court. You know, what kind of judgment of the case?
Yeah.
What kind? What are we doing to ourselves? And we are discussing whether it's a national policy or no national policy. Parliament 2018 pass budget a seed money. It was part of my pleading before the Supreme Court. They ignored it. So that's it. But at that time, Parliamentary, the representatives of the people, had bought into an idea brought by one man. Whether it's a president or a minister of state or whatever, he had brought an idea and had become acceptable to the representatives of the people. The Supreme Court, ono no chere ya mamra yi mu say the national policy, the same direction of the country according to this law. Primary mother the mother law no. Omo ma injemu. Me de masam kotu o mani. Omo do so judgment no 22 page judgment. Also kwabna wa some of the by if they even declined jurisdiction to interpret. But say my raising issues are no border on enforcement. I have issues with the judgment, but I decided not to go for a review for good reason. My point, by the decision of the Supreme Court, that had been endorsed again by the state. Appropriateness or inappropriateness of building the cathedral is neither here nor there. It's gone. It's gone.
Because a citizen tested that
at the Supreme Court. And it's not my lawyer. You know who my lawyer was?
Who was?
Dr. Abdul Aziz Bamba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know him.
The research, to quite went to the National Cathedral in Washington.
In the Enonomuko under Article 2 and interpretation and enforcement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
interpretation.
We went. No, we didn't just go on interpretation.
Okay.
We went on 3 legs.
Okay.
They're all summed up in the say. Even the arguments that had been advanced by government, and of course the AG representing the state, a submission, a cancer more, na a cost had this seat. Obi, my point is that Sabri Numuno. Me, some people even called me Satan.
FM 94.7.
What I say? MPC and no more Kasaka say, Mokoto Aba, a penny so, say, seed money of 25 million, and Fankotum. And then I made a call, say, or mine say, on fan who she and say, or someone say, but yet your man in there, but only me personally. Say, Mampania Kofado. Onya san daeson and of free individuals say omumboano na ne daeson onsi mo mana bananka we say we I'm telling you. But the manner in which this thing has gone about and our mining also has acquiesced. That's why I'm surprised people are not talking and saying what now 2017. We are in 2022. 2023. Are you now waking up? Rip Van Winkle. A poem by Ivan Washington. Sleeping through a revolution.
FM 94.7.
King George. Gini photos. George Washington, the president. And you been a yana. Hey, Obi. Me a very simple matter. I don't know what we are talking about. But truly, Metianmo, I campaigned for the president in 2020. By virtue of campaigning for him, any vision, the personal vision, the national vision, say OC Cathedral, no, it had been put before the people. And the people of Ghana gave him a second term. I'm making an argument for us to appreciate what we are doing. Wow, you watch here.
Asempa.
We are seeing you watching.
94.
Now you can't some na yenyi na yan kano krekakra. What is the position you have on whether or not as a secular state, the state or the nation should involve itself in Hajj, which was my case before the Supreme Court, or be involved in the building of a national cathedral for a Christian thing. The two stage and also communication from that secretariat. Makacha wa studio ada. They don't get it. At some point, they are supporting a religious activity. At some point, a national monument. At some point, get your communication right. The president conceived of an idea. He wanted to do something. Not everybody will agree. Parliament kosomu. Supreme Court are endorsing. In fact, okay, my judgment now, even though I had not raised that issue in my pleadings, sir, there will always be other things to consider. And yet, the state does what it wants to do. And I know being raised issues, say there are more important issues to be done. I didn't raise that in my pleadings. But the Supreme Court, in its judgment, made a comment on that. So that's here. Me, Obi, they are making and say, like, we don't want to grow as a people. Huh? Yes, separate issues. No. My sister Moka something about an alleged criminality. Na sebi member of parliament, ranking member for foreign affairs or foreign affairs. Wesiamra, se unimsa, wesiakakra.
Yes.
Facebook, and I'll try case.
Was he doing that? And as or provided Ghana for information from a research away and investigations away.
No, is it on Facebook?
Yeah, but he didn't end it there. He's petitioned Shraj.
He announced he was going to petition Shraj.
Absolutely.
Why didn't he petition Shraj before putting it out there? Always putting the cart before the horse. Is this for sensationalism?
FM 94.7.
I don't want to sound personal, but you see, they do the personal things. We're a member of parliament who have access to state Nyama me Kwabrabo Femitia as a private individual. Me need power of the state to be BMU apart from my civic right as a Ghanaian. I met me exercise by say me de mra eko bibi and I say bibi. Who to me? Who German crofo what not strong? Why are you fast no? Now my constitution no share maybe. Say enema Ekosiisen na parliament. Womo to me say sika yes spend from the state coffers, consolidated fund. Ni nyina eba mo anim ana
sure.
Ah? And the other na yetu man America. So obi ye bibi na nye na etiamra. Wo as a member of parliament untimi nkwache no. Go to the appropriate state agency. Make the report. We are MP Grantino, the state agency sorry. In time because when him say MP one what the report about no one ya bet me ama ya flower ba the floor of the house to come and answer questions and answer opening me boy. You avoid all these channels and engage in sensationalism. Is that how we build a nation? Theater. The parliament, yeah, theater.
How is that sensationalism?
What is it? What else is it? What answer will he get from the Facebook? Tell me. Apart from say who are also Ghanaians say, Bibi say Yakoso, say you cry no na mo kamamati. Say the person affected. Say, are you ready to appear before any appropriate body?
Yeah, where issue statement.
Yes. Enti the Mibusane say, MP na who ought to have known or knew. Say, kwanya sese nko fa suni no wan fa sa kwa no so a odi be ye huria ama yaka asem na ma yabua fo yabua kum fa wie no ono no ani nipa na o se bibi am anu ye bi am mo pe no me de be ma mo enti mo fa me mra no ono ni sa nipa no na ye ni ye. Obi, I'm very angry and upset with so many things in this country. So many things. Ye time I am fanya aduma. Hey, no cry am fanya aduma. You see you increase of 4 and income of 88.8% from the 2010 population housing census. Me sure say 2021 the be we analytical study no na higher. And so Bible you can. I say you can. You Quran na say you can. Na you can. Na dey aduma. You fanya aduma nya atom. That's why I have given you that history. Say me, I disagree with the president. I went to the appropriate forum. The Supreme Court gave a judgment. Whether I agreed or them or
but before you went, you announced that you were going to the Supreme Court, no?
I filed, and it was when I had filed that the news came that I had filed a petition against the involvement of the state in religious activities. And let me say this to correct the minds of people. My uncle, because of the cathedral,
all religious activities are minor.
Or minor state, as a secular state, you know. Mementi as you say, any sort of foreign some nsemu. Man yimu. Na wo pasa wo ye bibi ma somo a, enya ye mo bia pepepe. Asema me de call no.
That was the crux of the matter.
Ebinu na binu fi say, oh, I papa wanya ni baby because antentwi. Senior. Initially don't just say until say me ni share me no bon komo.
Ah, no.
Then it's good to test the law. So that's here. Supreme Court to say, hey, the America said the state was overly entangling itself by way of Hajj. Any a cathedral no, omuni mi nyadwene. Na omusoma nchirimu. That's what I'm telling you. My problem with the Supreme Court judgment was that the argument was based on population dynamics and not the law. Because they declined original jurisdiction to enter the law arena. And I want to say, Ghana for do no a Christopher in Cremofo. In fact, I'm crying a mommy who say, I make analytical report, no. I can here to confirm say near 71.2 Christians and 17.6 Muslims.
Percentage wise.
Okay. To make 88.8% of adherence to the Quran and the Bible. And that's why I keep saying that and this hey Bonnie baby also organ hadma and can koso. So you see, let's get straight with ourselves. They should get serious with parliamentary business as a minority and be responsible.
No, but that's not fair to him.
Fair to him? You are running your minority responsibility on social media?
But that's not what he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
But he has a social media following.
Oh.
And you think it's wrong for you to update your social media
I'm
following?
That, good. I like the word you use. Update.
Constant update.
Good. Update. You update people of what you are doing.
Sure.
Good. He was now putting to us what he was going to do.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
My technical understanding of update. And he said
what he was going to do after he had
done
something.
He had expose.
He had not done it. You saw the admin. He had done something before he came out with something.
Sensationalism now does so do. Obi, this is what the first issue. Minia titles boss Kakrabino Jai. There was a time Okujeto brought an issue about presidential travels.
Sure.
The private aeroplane inside interior. Where did it end?
Where did it
was
end?
It indeed a pictures of a flight and a president team?
So what he did was to go to that company's website and check pictures of the kind of flight a president rented. So it's easy to do that.
Me say, or the better was a flight a president team.
Spec ni bino no.
You're not getting my point. When I talk about sensationalism, you see, sensationalism. We are doing too much damage to ourselves, especially those of us in the political class.
But so through sir, advocacy on presidential travels. Since you're president, the commercial flights they took.
Let me tell you, think it's because of that. I mean, I say me true. Time I know your deputy minister to information.
Yeah, deputy information minister.
Sunday, I never know more launch here. We Ghana Sika publish here. A mood doesn't an AM Power Ghana.
A green book now.
Yes.
At the time, I'm a green book, no education ministry, no a deputy education.
When he was there as information minister on publishing materials, and then you know, a be a Kintampo, me a free a Jema Nati, forestry be a one mom, no, we say a forest.
No, we say a
Sada project.
Sada. Forest, no.
I'm going to go
Is it a sada? Say omune dua sada ne dua no in the forest.
Me na say omuna created by them. Me kwabra bonfe. Me in the early 80s me ko asempatra wo hon mo no. Not how forest le wo ho. But catch me say mo na mo ye.
No official government communication.
Are you sure that was the impression that it
impression oh me say conform
no as a opia ko extreme
me ya ko extreme
we are extreme
omo publish niema bebre what man na nya
say sada for signpost esi ho a find out why their signpost was
there also sada for say omo na creative forest
there was some signpost
me can say omo signpost
also omo na creative forest
was say sada project I don't make anything say
anyway
look Obi the point is very simple. You want answers about certain things.
Yeah. Sure.
Let's go through. Anya bibia obi ye na ye fe. Hwe mo congress na mo ye no. I don't know now how mo raise the issue. Did you elect Sami Javi? Your congress, did you elect Sami Javi? Was there a vote on him by the members of your party? NDC.
He was declared unopposed.
Who declared him? Who declared him?
I'm sure the vetting committee declared him unopposed.
Yeah. So no
unopposed. Yeah,
but
ono kase on the day no. Say again.
I mean, he was declared unopposed prior to
the election.
Yeah,
but ono kase there should have been like acclamation.
Acclamation. Now we just say.
I say
Was he election?
No, acclamation is a form of election.
I know.
And he's saying that was not done, right?
Yeah, exactly. My point is that, you see, to have somebody elected is a product of law. My constitution, I am sure, say Obiko unopposed that you either choose to vote yes or no on the person, or there's an acclamation.
Popular acclamation.
Of the people. Because that's how you brought in some professional bodies, no? Into your
professional forum.
Are you want to move your crimes as Sebafia? Move here and about voice vote. Did you do something like that? Even when your congress was going on, me, I was monitoring and telling some people that hey, including Samina Ankasa, say you have to be elected. Ask him. Yes, me
Kasagu sa. Bane. No, don't worry.
You wash it out. So my point is that something like that. It is not to come and sit or go and write on social media and say because Mukrano by virtue of the fact that Maswenu in your party has a quest. My elected.
Sure.
So that's the point I'm driving at. On my way. Whether we disapprove of something or whatever, National Cathedral no. Say so more incorporate you. Me wa. Ndi amu incorporate you no. Tell me. Say was it incorporated in the private name?
No.
Initially yes, but now it has been.
It's a public.
No. So
now it has
become. We are talking now. How can anybody say ndi me nyaya? Hey, now the last
one. Eyebrows. I mean, eyebrows started to say raise about say a private entity and to other state.
Yeah, do mind this question.
You don't pay attention to detail. Brand necessary mo kasa ne time akwabra for Supreme Court about the matter. And they think in idea who Jim say I don't know. Eyema say yeah na. Any say and unfortunately sometimes I hear you people misquoting the Bible and saying things. Go and read 1 Kings chapter 8. I say man now can. And read. Yeah, read. When Solomon was dedicating the temple.
1 Kings.
Yes, chapter 8, I think.
Okay. 1 Kings 8. Into the ark brought into the temple, and I mean, kind
from there. Oh, the point I want to make. You know. Time from verse 17.
Verse 17, okay. Solomon's speech at completion of the work. In the kind from 17, but also now it was in the heart of my father David to build a temple for the name of the Lord God of Israel. But the Lord said to my father David, quote, whereas it was in your heart to build a temple for my name, you did well that it was in your heart. 19. Nevertheless,
thank you. You did well that
it was in your heart. Yes. Me,
I'm a Christian. I'm a seven. One of the Supreme Court judges mistakenly asked me. They were thinking whether I was a Muslim. Now I'm saying I'm a Muslim. I make us a Hajj. So issue. Now I'm a Bible believing Christian.
A member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
SD is town's member.
Yeah, we meet too. My do stage be me. Yeah, but I found my way. I found my way back to my God. Yeah, Obi. Martin Luther King Jr. preached a sermon on this thing, and he described it as a text so short, yet speaks so much of cosmic significance. Now, title no unfulfilled dreams. Unfulfilled dreams. We start things in our private lives. We are unable to finish all of them. It is not so much where we, friends say, where we end or how we started, but the intentions behind them and how it is pleasing before God.
Okay.
President Akufo-Addo may never finish building the cathedral.
May
never. Yeah. But for the first time in the history of our country, it will be to his credit that he thought about it. My only problem is that this is not a Christian country. I'm a Christian, but we are not a Christian country.
It's a secular state.
It's a secular one. And I want us to respect even the minority of minorities. I'm a don't move. I mean, say, Obi, a boyfriend. I'm saying, Longoro no. That's how they call God. Longoro is the capital of the Dega or Mu people. Nti omo ba na omo ka se munsi asori dan maya mu besi ama omo na we kra de
no na nke Ekosiisen no yin Longoro ho
na se na Ekosiisen
o se
o bu jan na Ekosiisen na yin
Longoro ne be go
connect bambo anyway
Dabi new that's new Longoro
me femu from Kintampo and me pie wo
bambo that's okofa new
okofa Longoro tio
Longoro Dabi one fa old Longoro honey Longoro no no the ancient
Longoro.
No,
but the argument has been made. The argument has been made for traditional worshippers. No, it will not be possible to get one like a cathedral for them because more area specific.
Was it being built for Christians?
But who was it being built for?
Go and check again what is being built. You see, so that's part of the misunderstanding about the whole project.
No, it will be a national project, but it will be a Christian.
Who said so? But go and read again what it is about. Have you read the incorporation document? And the maker said, it is part of the confusion. But and I want to conclude on this. We cannot pretend go and support something. Yabeko Parliament. Yakwa support to BB. Ye pieba bonti and social media beka say that attitude on the part of the minority is unbecoming. It's irresponsible enough.
Irresponsible there. That's a harsh word.
But then what is it?
No.
It is not
responsible. How is it irresponsible when they take a position on an issue? It cannot be irresponsible.
Obi, I don't have a problem if they take a position. They should be consistent with their position. That's all I'm saying.
Mame Nase.
Obi, stop juggling about.
Obi, good afternoon. If or not say, when people quote the Bible to support the issues like building a house or a cathedral, they leave themselves open for criticisms from we the unbelievers. If you claim that the Bible says one must have everything ready before one can build a house, it's marks of hypocrisy, immaturity, seriousness and ignorance. You would agree with me that today most people start building, even move in long before the house is even habitable. Does that mean we didn't plan? Can't the cathedral be built over a number of years? Has the president insisted he would complete it before he exits? Will he take the cathedral home with him when his term is over? Today, most Ghanaians spend years building their houses. We move in long before it's completed. Kwame Pinyin Bansa. Another way up. Thank you. This one says that, hi Obi, tell the NDC to stop the grasshopping on peripheral issues. Has the state money been embezzled? They should keep on the blasphemy lane. The only thing, what is the economic alternative to the IMF and the global crisis, etc. Our cathedral will be built to the glory of God, whether you scream to the depth of hell or wherever, we shall prevail. NDC, tell us your policy. You will see your smoothness level come 2024. Obatampa, Frances, Ivrabna, SCM, and Odid Way Upper. And he again says, in support of Kabila, I'll point out, say, former President JDM as a sole candidate during the presidential primaries at the time faced a yes or no vote in Kumasi. Hi, Obi. Please, I'm surprised your panelists are not addressing the issues Honorable Ablakwa has put forward. Thank you.
You didn't listen to me.
So no, I
messages. But me, am I supposed to address Okudeto's issues? I directed at somebody. He should go to where he can be responded to by the person, either the court of law or say on the court right on the floor of the house.
Hello, Obi. How can a promise to build a cathedral upon winning election mean that he would build same from his pocket? The same NDC will call the president corrupt and drag him to shroud if he had money to build same from his pocket. All their noises about elections. Junior is in Tantra Hills. Parobi, I think it's good as a member of parliament to bring to light if there is any act of financial malfeasance. But I see his so-called findings to be full of mischief and one-sided, yet he jumps into name-calling, allegations and propaganda. If I may ask, has he finished his aeronautical studies and findings? Why is he now jumping into other spheres? The Reverend should seek redress in court against Honorable Okudzeto. Okay. Onel Amponsa, Amsterdam. Obi, we have failed to hold Honorable Okudzeto accountable to some of these things, and that's what has emboldened him to continue. Okay, on that tangent, it started with the president, and we hailed him, so he's extended it to us, to other citizens, to the extent of showing their passport details. But once again, Honorable Okudzeto knows once he posts about anything, he would be granted interview, so why not? Let's put him to strict proof and not his usual Google searches, and also call him out when it turns out that he wasn't truthful on some issues, and he would be measured. Starsky, all the way from New York. And on the way, Abraham Starsky, thank you. This one says, Obi, we all sat down, planned and costed before we started building. At times we don't get halfway, then we are cash-strapped. Economic factors can always affect your planning. We should be serious as Ghanaians. David N. Nkrumah, Edie Enono. Good evening, Obi. Yes, it is acknowledged that some Ghanaians do have house names as well as school or church names. My question is, do such people have two different dates of birth? Also, is it legal for a Ghanaian to have two different passports with a house name as well as a school or church name with two different dates of birth? Thanks, yeah. But I think so far, from the evidence out, no, it hasn't showed two passports I bear two different names, no. It was contained in the original post. Say, there is one passport I bear a different name, but that passport was not part. It was not part of the pictures issued. Maybe when we get to interview Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa, maybe he has some more evidence or Koshraj and Swebi or Debeko. The NDC and their lawyers are too quick to judge. Do they sometimes forget there are legal luminaries in this country? The lawyer in your studio must know missing legal objectivity with political propaganda is the easiest option for future calamity. Tell him to leave the Bible alone. Gusty man, Eubrekum. Greetings, Obi. Times are really tough, yet you wake up every day and government decisions make you feel they are against the well-being of Ghanaians. Regards to Nana Abrokwa Asare, a Sojaman star boy, Nikole Mataheko. Good afternoon, Obi. Honorable Ablakwa will always be exposed over some of these allegations. Can Ablakwa tell Ghanaians who is funding all the, okay, Obi, we need to, blah, 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 Ejakwejo or Dallas in Texas. That tangent and so necessary. And Mamenase, but I'll come back. Wait, sir. Obi, ask Lawyer Chum for me. Was Hope City in the NDC manifesto or it was a public policy? was Honorable Ablakwa sent to Shroud when he was allegedly forcing the then AG to pay isophoton. He just wants to be heard and seen working. One day, Samuel Brian Boabin, aka Kofi Asiedu Boche, and now also the way about the Udimba question that Kofi Asiedu Boche.
Having a dual name, no, Yanchre Muye.
Yeah.
Say when me na you say.
Sure.
So now Udin de Philip Owusu. Now pass out na yemfra Kwasi Asante Beko.
Yes.
Assuming.
Yes.
There's a procedure to go through.
Sure.
You have to swear an affidavit.
Affidavit, yes.
Gazette
And get the name Gazette.
Sure. At the publishing publishing company.
Sure.
It will take about 3 weeks or a month to get it done. 3 weeks, yes, to get it done. Once it's done, they'll give you about 4 copies of the Gazette. What it means is that from that moment onwards, within a year, the new name that has been gazetted.
Yeah.
So under no circumstances will you rely on the old name for anything.
Sure. But my other question would be,
except that, previous
name, yeah, are still valid. Are still valid. With the old name now still valid.
You also attach a copy of the Gazette page to it.
Yes.
To the passport office.
Absolutely.
To reflect, say.
Absolutely.
So it's not just an ordinary thing. I can't say, oh, me do man.
No, I agree with you on that point. But my way will be, sir, when we look at the evidence now in the public domain, which is the passport information. Passport information pages now.
Judge, like that.
No, was it the evidence before?
Yeah, the evidence now. Gazette BN.
There's no Gazette.
Good.
This is my issue.
Yes.
Council.
Masa, meet you.
Me.
The microphone.
Me wo. Minia ni kwata Tatos Glover Daniel. Yemu ye ni hu to me. Sasem we. See ye be do so mwa ni
ekohu no kra wom. No, I agree.
Ekohu no kra wom. No kra de betumi ehu.
Yes.
Ba ye no kra no.
Enkosi.
Asempa FM.
Ye me kan say
94.7.
Oni kuna o ma sasem yi so. We sai amamra yi mu. Ena wono ankasa ne hyehye ode ya adwuma o parliament. E hye no say sansam na ne nsan kan one oman ahweye anankro bata edi sa dwuma na ebema yehu asem num no kra no ebehia no de ne nsam na ma wo adoso mu akowchi gina ya beboa.
But he has done that through his lawyers.
Why no through it? But me put it Kabila, we don't have to belabor that point. Sraj has been said.
Me say enti why me and it's my person I agree. Our opinions on that matter.
I agree. No. I just wanted to say, Honorable Mebao, I just wanted to say, sir, Okoye passport in Ghana, source document your birth certificate, The birth certificate should bear your name. The 3 passports information pages are public domains is here, bear the same name. All the 3 bear the same name. Kwabena, good. And what it then tells me is at the time now all yes had 3 passports, no. Now birth certificate that call had the name Kwabena Edu Jemfi. Meboa. No, but it's you can safely conclude.
Yes, you can deduce from that.
You can safely conclude.
You see, you are making deductions and assumptions. It's not
anyway,
fact.
No, it's not fact. Since it's deductions near here.
That's a deduction. I'm saying dangerous. So you see.
Oh no, how is it dangerous?
How is it dangerous?
I'm not me my point. No,
not to be so.
No, hold on.
So are you by any chance saying inside he gave in passport office a document that bears a different
name
and the passport came out with a different name.
We can safely conclude. But the point I'm making is now, if there are any passports, man of God, I don't know a bear different name, then we have a different conversation altogether.
Exactly.
Now, says a different name, if there is no gazette and affidavit to back it up, then we are in a different conversation altogether. In the let's wait and see.
Then that passport, in the time length,
sure.
ebeto old ones no
Sure.
and I say old ones beto
beto
na ebeto no ya cancel because anytime you
have to
you have to cancel the old one ya cancel and I say cancel
Sure.
so there are so many questions to go into but how no different to answer
Ozebonzo yenim say ukoye passport say dada no expire na ukoye fofora won saka fofora na ye twada
that's true
so that is all that
until no put
the information say any computer if any saying the online application go no go through and tell Kabila kan no ye abotre but to me kasa no he tried to sway from Okujeto asem na odi aba ye kan asem no no the pressure no e dey akoto mo penye so hona me pese me twi nadwen e di ba ho no
e da already opepre
obisa ya bisa se aso
94.7
Prophet Victor tajolede
Obin Victor Kusi Boating
sorry aye djuma ama ban na sedia escheka no e betwa ne ka no me ne nyina ye ti studio he ye ntimu se onye djuma bi ama Makai no, that's not.
So exchequer, which is
with the controller.
Controller. Because the point is that if it's indeed proven, say the 3.5 na hit JNS account,
yes.
Not the source near controller.
Debbie. Investigation but letter not throw on the 26th of August 2021.
At the command.
Every national cathedral.
Call JNS honor, yes.
Or let me read again for the benefit of our listeners. That is 26th of August 2021.
Okay.
Dear Director, and the heading is loan to pay contractors for the National Cathedral of Ghana. The Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral is to make payment to the contractors of the National Cathedral project, which is overdue. Payments have delayed at the Controllers and Accountant General Department. We therefore seek financial assistance of 2.6 million Ghana cedis from GNS Talent Center Limited as a top-up of our balance, which we are expecting to be credited into our account, which is the National Cathedral account. The controllers cannot be on GNS. They are expecting that payment into the account at National Cathedral. This loan request may carry a letter that the National Cathedral wrote to GNS Talent Center Limited, company, to seek for loan. Or see the loan request has become necessary due to the agency to advance the second payment for the next phase of the work on the National Cathedral. The loan will be refunded as soon as we receive payment allocated from the controller and the accountant general department. So, say, JNS and Yeduma Mabai.
Yeah, it's because he said, yeah.
On for that, a controller and to directly into
GNS.
Almost expecting from National Cathedral account.
No, okay.
And based on that,
one second, Bajo. The American say, also make reference to the bank statement, say.
Osena Eduji,
exactly. And that may say, on that statement, I mean, that bank statement, I captured this figure out 2 million something, I captured. But I captured after a 3-point-something million had been paid to that account from controller. Okay, until no more being a call when more as loan.
That is what you heard Eduji say.
Exactly. Okay. So my point in the say 3-point-something million free. Controller what ban of what about that JNS account anymore? Is it because na JNS account maybe and the need man na JNS you try and say can more yes I no I just too much said let you come there make me can but for that to be an go yes can go with the FM. That is why I asked that question that we need clarity on that.
Very well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very well.
All right.
Sir, where do we on this topic?
Investigation. And yeah, they know. That's running.
Camila Kunipa.
On was certain questions in there, but answer.
Okay, Abutre, Bibi fine. We say, hello, Obi. I hear someone in your studio claiming that the cathedral was mentioned without a plan. Before the proclamation by His Excellency Jack, or not the Jack, na Abba, that's J. Ekofo, I suppose. Was there a building plan?
Proclamation on what?
Meba.
The Jubilee House.
No.
Okay, let me see.
What is he referring to?
Let me see. Okay, I should think say enye Jack. I don't know, but Ramos, my name say Jack, and I will can say Nanado Dan Kwa Kofuado. Yeah. Okay. A Jubilee House, maybe. In your say, before the proclamation by His Excellency J. Kufuor on the Jubilee, I was there, building plan. Did His Excellency J. Kufuor have funding when he made a pronouncement about the current seat of government? The Assemblies of God has recently announced that they were raising funds to support the cathedral. He should read how temples were built in the era of the scriptures. He will not fail to notice this line, quote, purposed in his heart to build a temple for the Lord. Let us freely raise all our accountability questions, but smearing of the project must cease. I honestly see Ezra 4:4-5 being reloaded in our eyes with this whole cathedral hula baloo. Okay.
Obi.
Hi, Obi. Lawyer Meba. Okay. Please, just to ask a general question. Has the government finished building all the one district, one factories? Why now a top priority to build a cathedral in a country where schools under trees are rampant and even free SHS not effectively being run? Now reverends want to compete with our blah, blah, blah. Okay, PK in Elembele. Obi, a passport is deemed a valid document when it is not expired. The passports Ablakwa is talking about cannot stand any test in our law court because they are no more valid. Again, there is no proof the said person, Reverend Kusi Boateng, possesses 2 passports as we speak. We tend to destroy characters for the sake of pettiness and cheap politics. And the most hurting aspect is when supposed knowledgeable people lose it to the gallery because of politics. Ghana, God save Ghana from the NDC. Where Honorable Trinity and the message nearby. Honorable Sampine, Kumasi Mayo. Honorable Obi, if corruption can purportedly find its way into the clergy, then we are doomed as a country. This cathedral will indeed bring darkness to light. Jomo Pokwase Festus. When ex-President Kufuor wanted to build the Jubilee House, the MDC and its members in opposition then said when they come to power, they would use it for poultry farm. But what happened? Today, they are criticizing the construction of the National Cathedral. Ghanaians should not listen to the untruth they are peddling. Never again NDC. Master Planner Jr. is in Kintampo. Clearly, if you are a leading figure in Ghana and close to the National Cathedral, people who are against it will try and taint your effort ostensibly to bring your integrity down. This is sad. Kwesi Reynolds in Agona Odoben, aka Kwesi Boche. In the end, it will be able to do not in the day for Obi. Here, end this argument today on name change and birthdays and reflect on what they said when same was said about Domelevo, former AG. Interesting country. Starsky, again from New York. Obi, the problem this cathedral is facing is communication. They should know that the NDC has turned it into a political battle because the credit will go to Akufo-Addo. Didn't the NDC criticize and even criticize the medical drones? Even when we discovered the oil, they told Ghanaians it was Ajengo. Ghanaians have moved on and the NDC will stay in opposition forever. Secondly, the cathedral is not a church to have daily or weekly church services. George Quatten is in Adenta, Ediwe Abba. Obi, there is a board of trustees for the cathedral project of eminent clergy in Ghana. Who is Prophet Kusi Boateng that all the trustees will agree for him to draw such huge funds free of charge from state coffers? When they do this, they think they are the only persons who are privileged. Let Honorable Ablakwa know that he is not smarter than anyone. He cannot court public sympathy before going to court. Sensationalism is just was needless but for cheap political gains. Kwejo Jemfi Bonsu Jr., Ghana School of Law, UPSA. Okay. Obi, please, I'm a member of the Parliamentary Press Corps and for some reason would like to hide my name. Obi, the minority caucus has never on one occasion supported the construction of the National Cathedral. Remember, the minority was able to shut down a budget meant for the National Cathedral in the 2023 budget approval process. In parliamentary practice or laws, if Parliament approves something by majority vote, it is binding on the entire House, but the minority stance is also captured in the records. Thank you, boss. One funny thing.
2018 budget now. Me can say one more can approve the seed money. Was the minority against it? He should show us Hansard that said that the minority was against it.
But their opinions will be captured in the Hansard.
No, Mr. Onfamra said they were against that allocation.
That allocation. No.
What I'm trying to say is that what they are doing now, we're pretending say they were against it from the beginning, cannot be true. They're the minority. They endorsed it. They should stop their pretense.
They are not can say they are not compare Jubilee House and Cathedral. How can you compare the two?
I don't know.
Jubilee House in your promise will be question. I mean, don't bring the two together. That's not Cathedral near Bosha or being in Yankopo and Yasa. We say money, may say amount. It has got nothing to do with it. We cannot compare the same thing to the Jubilee House.
But in the
this argument doesn't hold.
In the MPPs,
I was even wondering why and make it argument.
No, but in the MPPs 2000 and 2004 manifestos, did they promise on BC Jubilee House?
No, woman promise, but they make any. Me say, and not your personal promise of that individual and do money. Any president go for promise or saying I go on board. This is a private promise that you have made to God. Who heard it? Oh no, I can't compare the Ghana even I can tell you. So what I say? So let's not compare the two.
Okay. No, I mean now say
misplaced priorities indoors. We are now ya. Must say I can't address a conference center. It was in the budget for 2023 budget.
Sure.
The
new one.
I mean, what sense does it make?
No, they wanted to build a new one.
I mean, they were going to build a new one. They were going to build a new one. At this stage, I can't address a conference center this one. They are now. I can't say it from.
No, that's not a rationale. No, where auntie.
Obi. I mean, misplaced priorities endorsed. Let's face the fact.
I just the sons of Issachar.
They did not understand the times.
And why you won't we? And why you can't go your cry and your mind can be a good. What's Uncle Promise? Because I'm a Mentiano.
One today, the minority for any Bogu. It was a 105 million euro project. I think a little over 100 million euro.
And so they needed to test.
Sure.
Now, Mubogu, yeah, knowing the times, at times. And Namunya, and ever come once, Nanya, say, Facebook. See, I am church or near my as I would call and I make a Mementiano
and any other business near sorry Ekosiisen high asempa 94.7 FM your discussion segment the Bram Nova Plaster Home Decor Papa Pafie and a Franco Trading Enterprise phone Papa Pafie omonso boyen near the discussion segment Abremo in studio James Kwabena Bonfe managing editor the National Forum newspaper Honorable Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover former MP Tema East former Deputy Minister Transport and a former a former national organizer aspirant of the NPP and Omone Wustria sounds na lawyer Chum Berema member of the NDC National Communications team. In Pennsylvania, anyone aiding Como, Mimidi your say Bonsu, Ofremi Obi Amejoso. This one says, hi Obi. You shouldn't forget that when former President Kufuor was building the Jubilee House, I think that has come over and over again. The NDC made a lot of noise about it, but they benefited from it when they were in power. Okay, also regards to Honorable Mark Okrakumante of Ayin Suano, breaking the 8 is assured. Mark Okrakumante happens to be Deputy Minister Tourism. We say, Obi, I plead to ask this question. Is Ghana worth dying for? What is the crime of Reverend Kusi Boateng? You could see clearly that The NDC are just attacking the integrity of the man of God because he is being the main spokesperson for the committee on the cathedral. So they want to write off his reputation and kill off the future of this monumental project. Greetings to the people's mother, Honorable Joanna Frances Ada, Greater Accra Regional First Vice Chair of the NPP, and greetings to Senior Goodfellow Deofe, Head Communications NLA, Barrister Danny Edie Eni. Hi Obi, I understand. Kabila, Obi sa one only okujeta Blackwa contestee for Nook's president.
It's history.
No, but you did contest.
Yeah.
What has that got to do with the discussion? What has that got to do with the discussion?
Oh, that we say Obi Busa.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas Ewoko for Lydia.
2005.
Okay.
Looks
And Onurini, Ablakwa won.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was removed.
Or the be aso so no men kind because it's not necessary. No.
And he was also removed. The person should also know. Okujeto was also impeached and removed from office as Nook's president.
Was he?
Yes.
Was he?
Yes, I was there at the CC meeting.
Really?
The Secretary Haruna Mahama became the president. And he handed over.
Haruna Mahama Gunya.
Yes. With Cynthia Opokumanu. ATTs here, yes, RCC, no? Yes. So the person wants history, I'll give them more.
I know.
Any other business, lawyer, any other business. Yes,
Obi, the only issue I will take up. I don't know how I can blend this two, but let me try and blend the depth and then
94.7.
and then this oil for gold thing. I am against it for a reason. And let me tell you my reason. Obi, do you know Thor is almost dead?
Tema Oil Refinery.
Do you know it's almost dead?
But has it ever been alive?
That's a very nice question anyway. It has been in the past.
Okay.
Or in some areas it has been. But now, Thor is almost dead. Almost dead in the sense that even my folk are living the country at the Bimo Ko Iraq near that day. Even though Iraq but once they are very good in oil. One see one of the biggest refinery as it stands now. And see and there's a binum mubuko. It's dangerous. Why is it dangerous? This is a national asset. Obi. National asset say woman crude or very fine amount diesel woman or more gasoline or more aviation kerosene or more LPG. Say any man in the past, not told man say Obama is 70% of our of our demand. And then the BDCs will give us 30%. In the Canay, I buy 100% to BDC. Kenya Sabi. Obi. Under President Mahama's era, was started here with a word. It take it 20% of your jubilee crude no. At the matter, someone refining. Master say. A yana mompa, a woman in Natia, who said man not a word under Mahama's administration. Nayana mon papa no. His was just 20%. Obi. In the caban way bad, the influence and so many in your way. And I'm so bomb modern say. Not to us move from 20% no to let's say 30 or even 40%. One more refining. Over second ne. Jinabia a woman say, ye did good neco finished with us or whatever from outside the country, dear banner, and here become. Meanwhile, we have what it takes. Your machines ni go, your phone wo, your expertise ni wo. Yet we are making our state assets go waste. Ni adani ya ho say nam say petrol samo ehia organ and ntino ya ko bi man so no ma finished product or even whatever. Ni e famra na mum ye ni ska de ko bata ye command go don sama yen anything product.
Semper FM.
Does this make sense? See a new refinery wa ha. Ana wutusa na mo na. Praise the Lord. Because I don't know so kwa crude nuka ba ye hu de bayo. So finish product the brain. Hallelujah. But here is the case: we have one sitting down idle. Obi, do you know the effect? Some machines need to work for a very long time. wo san ko humbi mu a you know what is involved. The possibilities of going to be is high. The answer is you have to do thorough renovation or revamping and send what we number back to life. Man, to buy a person and the amount. And you suppose to tear sometimes about back and I will not any because everyone will have constant operation, not a break operation and then come back at some point that nobody even knows. But this is the state we find ourselves. This is the state we find ourselves. And government is happy telling us or exchange with gold and get fuel or whatever they are bringing, so we should clap for them. Really? This government, as I keep saying, somebody you because Ghanaians didn't put you there to be, I mean, just to be testing our pulse. They brought you to come and work. They brought you in to come and work. Serve the people. Attend to their needs. Shenima ye won kokwa. Kokwa is going waste too. Sage my phone dane kono because what if I come? One yag be a. Into a more chrono. What's gonna be? Are we now going to poach them back? Or does it go forever? No funny experience in him, you know, when you will be mine. Near the end, and say, this is the state that we find ourselves today in Ghana. Obi, made a news, because of time factor. I mean, move straight forward into the debt issue. So, when we say what are the effects that this thing is going to bring, some banks may collapse. When was that?
Early days yet.
Sometimes some may. And when we say early days yet, dear, but you know that the gross effect in the the gross effect being says some workers in some financial institutions may be laid off, while your institution cannot contain you because they don't have what it takes to hold you. Remember? Now, your question in this back on the say, said ye pay who and ye.
Asempa FM 94.7.
About the same ground, now your baby pia. That is, a reasonable question any reasonable person should ask. How did he get here? How did Ghana become bankrupt? I want him to check out here. How did that happen? It's here because of somebody's, Obia Swadin away. Aswadin. I would tune for 1 tea. What can such any beer on for Yajuma? I.e., this particular government. And somebody be Mukai. Obi, let me take you back. Those who are watching and listening can check. They can just Google it. February 2020, World Bank cautioned or warned Ghana. Say, the person I did Bobby Senate at the chrono. Or mine baby, we will become a debt distressed country. So we should be careful. It was before COVID attacking Ghana. Ghana first case in COVID, I think it was around March, right? March 2020. This was February 2020. Obi, 2022, June, July. The same institution which was warning you yesterday came back to you that now the country has been declared a debt distressed country. And so wow, if you one point the want to for if you internal, we got the likes of Atuforsen, Dr. Atuforsen, Honorable Adongo, President Mahama and Co. Running lectures and speaking to the issue. Say the trend now is dangerous. It's a nimra ya hosoni ya juju na ase won mabi ngakra. Amwa, including even their own honorable, is it Makasibe or something? That former MP.
Makasibe yebo.
Woman nyina beka bi kira ban yi. Wonu ampo wo ya MP ni beka bi. And like I said, aswadinti, they turn deaf ears to all these questions. And then Abba. The Abba so minor I could do baby say a car would be a want to ya. Wow, do kabi want to ya. This afternoon I met a man in a particular office B. Na me ko adio. Na I think he knows me, but me no. Me trans not me chapa say the senior to me chen yai.
No.
Enti and I start so oni me din komo. Obo me din. Then I started laughing. No so what I hear me. Na me say I see. Near din komo, he's a businessman. Ana oka na danfo bi anura ofre no no anwumre. E ka na danfo no papa. Asemo a say ne papa na di about 71 years. Na ade e koso e bia ka papa no. And I think the man is getting BP. So na danfo no friend for US say he's going to come down because never papa enya answer that. But when never papa didn't come on phone and a day before no. The way papa no see the posture on the phone and everything it say all is not well with the father. But not some person will lose papa within this period.
And we hear me
Because of this challenge that are facing. So he has to come down immediately and come and meet never papa and talk to him. Not there. Robert maybe a man come about attend the MBA because what I like it on the AC is. These are some of the side effects that are coming to individuals. A 71-year-old man walking as me, Obi. A man and Bible was in a couple of 7 years. Now, so say means like I said, the next 20 years we may not find him. So that's it. We may not find this man after the next 20 years or within the next 20 years. Sabe ne bra wa bre. Ni investment awaye. Ayakwa. Obi. When say rationally obi a wodi nisika bo besia bia na so nisika investment bia no doesn't just do it because of person nisika go to baby.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because ohia emphasis
for expected baby.
Na won no so no ahye ne bobi say wotimi ma me 100 cedis a mema ho si ho 20%. Mema ho si ho 30%. Na metua na bosumi nsia bia na ama wo. Metua na afi bia na ama, metua de say na mo na no na ato me tirim nti. Metam mesika de ma wo. Number 2. One reason why people do or people prefer to be going into government bonds or T-bills and they are risk-free. Risk-free. And the share banks kutupa. The data banks and all the other banks say oh kromano. E ma omo tam krofo sika a omo de abra omo so omo mfansie no. Omo tam de kwose say investment bi say mo. Because how you risk-free. But now the risk-free point has become a danger zone to the bankers and to the individuals.
Okay.
Just because of borrowing. Now go can. Yeah, now people like doing telling you, oh, and this is fine, and then this is what we sending me, and this is what saying. Let me tell you something that Gabi said way back 2015. This is Gabi talking. If running an economy was all about borrowing your way into unsustainable debt hole, then any half-wit could be president. This is Gabi's tweet. And then I see Gabi, under your watch, whether you're on the fence or you are on the pitch, what has happened now? Okay. Obi, the CIT
now the one who is here, man.
And I said that to say we see 2
that's the way any other business.
That's how we critical matter.
A running story.
Always
come back to it.
Friends, I don't know what that was when I was on chapel, but my money was very important. Some years back or some few months ago, Ghana had debt to GDP ratio was about 67%. Listen to what Dr. Baumia said. Was it at 67 of GDP, Ghana's debt stock has crossed the critical 60% GDP level. That developing countries with limited access to capital flow should worry about in terms of debt sustainability. In fact, Ghana is right back to debt unsustainability that led us to HIPIC. However, HIPIC debt relief will not be available again. Ghana's status can now best be described as highly indebted lower middle income country. HIPIC. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, IMF bailiff, eminent, with the anchor hold.
In the storms of life.
Obi. And under the leadership of that same man who was tweeting some years ago,
94.7.
our debt to GDP is over 100%. Per the World Bank reports or records, we are around 104 to 106%. Under his leadership, the one in charge of economic management team, the one who was giving us 54 pages document on how to stabilize our economy and our city. Under his watch, and in 2016, around June whereby Nanado was saying that 3.47 to a dollar, cedis to a dollar is an act of bad leadership. And under their tenure, it has gotten over 100% increase of that figure. What you want? Now, according to Pempes, was a man from Domisika Baba Embassy. Now, what trace of Benyanisika back? No man penisha, but man for only a or man penisha, boss say. Those people, let me quote him as in the last address on the economy, was say, I also want to assure all Ghanaians that no individual or institutional investor, including pension funds, in government, treasury bills, or instruments will lose their money. As a result of our ongoing IMF negotiations, there will be no haircut, unquote. Obi.
Very well.
And that means, but for the threats that was issued by the public servants. So if government dares, they will go on a nationwide strike. And I'm buying train who are waiting out temper with the best fund. And Cabrana come and penny actually was over the same can. Nako San for Sibo Council and Sakoka. Abraham and Pania was on financing individual investment. Institutional investment, which is, for instance, where we see that Fidelity Bank, where we see that commercial bank, and I been incredible. Young finance and cash investments. A buying net at the second. And net a buying in second, and those who are going to suffer for the next whatever years by this reckless government.
Lawyer Chumberema Medase. Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover.
Philip,
o fine ayentio.
Medase. The Etienne said Nidikain. Mesre
FM 94.7.
Omompenia Giatum Nabedi Chiri Agiatum. The finance minister so Agiatum se Tibira Yumusi se no enye tibrepa. Enti na this ready na audit you nyina enim se obesre na nhihye na yede egu akwamu a ebeboa ye nyina ebe free sati bebu no odi etu ye nimu na engagement mukan what we can say them say
Ensa waso
na wo hwe program ye hye domestic debts eshim program na finance ministry I engage stakeholders. In fact, otikuo bi a one Mr. Esien ene da no. Na ye hwe kwan be fa so a ye betumi agina so a hye na e pese edugu akwam no ebeboa. The meeting of the banking association, the pension association, the pension regulatory commission, security and exchange commission, and what have you. Ampa Tuesday when you show mobile can say one in penny. I'm told say one as a cobium a share to unions. Any edit when I share TV3 News. My brother Bampo, the General Secretary for CLOSAC.
Okay.
Can say a buying per se pension fund per se using the year any MP's common fund so yentiso. I heard him talking like that. Na dia nyina womu. Na ochena na oka we no so no won say first program na the buy no o say 2023 bonds holders ni nyina no interest mo bi ahwe
zero
but there's a new amendment a proposal here dia ba you see it has moved from 0 to 2%. Now obia all bonds I mean government security now there are three critical issues are here. One is about the principal, interest, and the duration. These are the three cardinal pointer that goes into the contract between banks, and fund managers, and the individual. So clearly, it's a very essential engagement. Now, you should quite be fast. Because in 2 years, the Abebenye and the Mestre say lamentations not dorsal. Let's look at how we can salvage this country in terms of akwenya yenyano. And for me, I believe faithfully, say President Akufo-Addo, or can be during the COVID time. Or say the bank one day on to me, but she showed the begua a sikasem to or the beku prozua, and never share the ediaka. And for me, I have full confidence in Akufanda's government. Say in Chisho de Begua would need the support. And this is for baby don't behave like sadist. Sabi. Situation here for money say Yonkomusa for because of political expediency. No, Yanjichiro minds are. Yanjichiro minds are. So long as we have challenges in our hands. Prime best you see a fast war, Yanina Yabeboa, Nihu, Eddie From, and tell this and the media treatment from Ampa. Maybe what me kakra, I that bank, I can be a dao. That's what it, na mending. But wouldn't me go bank, the printing statement, mommy. Me sure I didn't say challenge, yeah, but
hot hear me,
but we need to make some sacrifices to save this country. Now, God for oil. Sir arrangement is serving two purposes, or so. One, to deal with the issue about forex. Quite a fast so BDC no se mudemu ya na Bank of Ghana voter at every year obviously every month but they need a maximum of $450 million. Yeah, nibi
480 grand.
450 yomu nibi. What has here? Enti e kwan ben so na we see far at least. And ne se fuel ni kromwa. I can imagine what our NDC friends are going to say. They'll be sitting on high horse, ranting and shouting all over the place. And the idea be able say, oh, I didn't know. Yen to me Bank of Ghana and to me my precious minerals because BDC is some Mexican Bank of Ghana. Eko pe forex no. Yen nyam forex en fama. So PMMC munji cities no na munji because there's a collaboration between the mining companies in Bank of Ghana, Lands and Forestry Commission, Energy Ministry, Lands Ministry and all the stakeholders. Ayajatum. And that daily graphic. Me show no. One gentleman who is in charge of financial markets, our Bank of Ghana, one Sim Lopata, almost share Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, and I'm happy, say Parliament, Afromo, to come and give them some background. First transaction, So the issue about sustainability was raised, and Opata say the Ghana, we can sustain this thing for some time, because a number of ounces that you produce a month, about 160,000 ounces, is achievable. And that can raise about 40 to 50% of the consumption level. And the way no yen kukuru forex no emfa engwa ngoto fox fu enu famba yenya gold no a we show the world market price na how it is going to yen the quantity na dia koma o mi be na mu ne wunu am John kasa and he said he's ready to come to the studio because it's far from Accra now. I wish him well. And when we a short-term message and make us two things: one, to deal with the issue of forex, and to make the prices at the pump cheaper.
Okay.
Cheaper. But many are chumi yadring. Makanda about the refinery. I make us say Thomas work. Thomas work. I'm a son of the soil. I've grown to 56 years, and I've known the refinery working. In the time of Yeba Power President Akufo-Addo Bemi under His Excellency any the toll was working.
Oh, okay.
The toll it worked.
Because if you want
toll must work because the ye finished products crude at the bar. When you refine that, you got all kinds of products. Minu Kasei, I know the Ministry of Energy has engaged some Saudi investors and they are coming to partner them. They should be quicker to make sure the refinery works. I know a good friend of mine. He's in Abu Dhabi. He's one of the top managers. Okay. Na machines no as your son as a nye juma. Ebe you nachi. And you nachi that will start here. It's another cost of doing that. And the media catch them say, gold for oil no issue a short-term measure. But when Bia Minister of Energy, a big boy refinery no managing in the long term no, I'm all for it.
Thank you.
And I will not hide my feelings for this one. Because I go for the buying a shares here, coming. So I want him to succeed. And no man and I won't be able to why encouraging Minister of Energy. Ya catch on say you must go and support the refinery. Nigeria and Naswo. In the days of Keke Sapo and President Kufuor, it worked. The refinery worked. Be pray. Refinery. You understand? Mama, fine. He did something.
Thank you.
Praise be to him. So clearly, no, some of us we want the position where the refinery can work in the long term. In the minimum year, a crude distillation unit is active. A year juma, the crude no more a juma. It is the RFCC, the residual fluid catalytic cracker, and it was here the reshaping. Furnace no, yasesi no. I couldn't get the firm CD, a juma, so that we can make the work ongoing. We can't use the refinery as a storage tank. Crude and nothing gum. People are making individual monies into their pocket. That will not happen.
Thank you.
That must not happen. The more refinery must work. Now because I know, and that's my cabby, my my colleague, Honorable Mavis have a and that daily graphic page 16 or say 56 grounded fishing vessels grounded for poor fishing gear. Last week was the last 2 weeks. You see about them fishing able. Now one of the trawlers, Akko expedition, she was riding the vessel, the discharge. They are looking at the type of fishes because there was specific nets. I would say, illegal, unregulated, unreported was IUU. Illegal, unreported, unregulated.
Yes.
Now when I'm not Ghana in a EU, you have a yellow zone. And yellow zone, you can either go to red or come to green.
Sure.
And she has been working so hard. And I must praise Anna Awakumsing for that bold initiative on in the ministry to make sure. And all these 56 vessels have been grounded because of the Nyama 1 year. And then we should net a Yediko Chinese vessel every problem.
China for India.
Including anchovies. When I was in the ministry, you sent me video one Chinese vessel watching them the good hatch or training here the coupon. The fishes, they are so sensitive. They pollute the water and they go far away. And the make say my colleague, maybe Sawa Kumsi,
okay,
for the good work that she's doing at the Ministry of Fisheries and Agriculture.
Very well.
And it was say now I know she will be able to transform the place with time. Now your best services also they should conform. Our can't say they should just conform. Who conform more? We be able to. And now the VIS machines in Yano, police in Sunusunya, and fishes for research. I will come to two about Minja. So you be there, you come ashore, they just arrest you. As for the fines, they are fining them, but some are still recalcitrant. I once punish them to make sure say because one of the topics finally with their mind is about Ghana applying to G20 about debt cancellation. It's one of the topics we are mind. I think say apply the call also and it's a bit wire so that we can get some room to make sure few of our debts that will be able to sustain and pay.
That's honorable. James, for you and sorry.
Me say me can name me son. Di kai. Nipa bebre regime change. Ebi efri amanyukuo a mampani a woteso sia yi na nkasa ofri mu no ebi fri mu ena ebi mu so efri outside that the mesre obi ane say ayadan 7th January 2025 ebeba His Excellency President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo will not continue to be the president of this republic. Enti yan say ye 2 months per American. We will soon see this president exit. Namum yan ni yan kai say de ya company wo mu free suya na ye dane ya no no. Ene na me di be so bibia menua chum eka. Cows are trapped by their horns, men by their words. And then one will say, "What kind?" In Sambia, Penny be can. Yes, no. The more can in nay, the more can in nay at the whole air train. So that's here. Now, I have any pay refintem. What be the last statement I'm a person me? And they say, "Your mom modern say a betcha tree maya." A year or man for mine. Or man for mine. And your maya to me dear a prayer tantan any year. Let's seek to build a nation, citizens' nation, not a nation a year power seekers. And as a year pay to me dear be chese me pay to me keke. Na say ye nyina ye di amamra no anim near dear tree. Article 41. Ye dia ye dwuma o man ba bia nim na sede na sudie ene akwanya ahodo e wo mana obi MP obekai say ɔyɛ ɔman bakane mampani ɔbɛkae sɛ ɔyɛ ɔman bakane soafoɔ ɔbɛkae sɛ ɔyɛ ɔman bakane mansini soafoɔ ɔbɛkae sɛ ɔyɛ ɔman bakane assemblyman man ɔbɛkae sɛ ɔyɛ ɔman bakane na ɔyɛ ɔman bakane a tumidie na ekuta wo no ana tumi na ekuta wo no uso mu sɛ wobɛyɛ den bɔkɔbɔkɔ wode ahobrɛseɛ nseyɔ boasetɔ nuadɔ nyamesuro ɛne nokorɛdi a kokoroduro wom ɛbɛyɛ adwuma mmɔma yi afa ne ntoma pafra meda ase
James Kwabena Bonfe, Managing Editor, National Forum newspaper, and I'm obtaining. Earlier, you heard from the Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover, former MP, Tema East, and a lawyer, Chum Berema, member of the NDC National Communications team. There is a song I would want to leave you with.